What's going on, guys? I'm Jeff, the Yoshi Fanatic, and welcome to part 1 of Yoshi's Crafted World, 5 years later. Guys, this is a little bit late. This game actually came out on March 29th of 2019, so I'm about a month late to the party. I blame you, Princess Peach Showtime, but that's okay. A belated birthday party is better than no birthday party at all. So, with that said, everybody, welcome to Yoshi's Crafted World 5 years later, part 1. Welcome! Welcome to Raggy the Rabbit, Solar Flare, Brain Pick, and Try Hard Gamer Gal, Heloy, and Aurora. What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Try Hard Gamer Gal says, hey, it's Vince from the Discord. You know, the one who recently joined. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I had a feeling, and yeah, Solar Flare and I did discuss that. So, yeah, I know. That's okay. This came out on my 9th birthday. I'm 14 now, says Solar Flare. That's nuts. But yeah, this game is officially 5 years old. Doesn't feel like it should be that old. I've played it a couple of times since it came out. I think I have a pretty well-developed opinion on the game. I don't think that this new playthrough is going to really do anything to change my mind. But I might have some insights that, you know, who knows? Maybe they'll change your mind. Maybe you'll learn something you didn't know about this game. Or maybe not, and you'll just have fun watching me play. Either way, I'm glad to have you all here. So, with that said, why don't we go ahead and get started? Oh yeah, I forgot to turn on my capture software. Oh my goodness. I don't actually need more footage for Yoshi's Crafted World. I have plenty. But, you know, maybe something cool will happen. We don't want to miss it. Alright. No shot this was 5 years ago. No shot. I was 9 5 years ago, says Solar Flare. You're making me feel old, dude. So, Solar Flare says, my bro has been a legal adult for almost a year, and my other bro is 17. Everyone is aging. Bro, I'm turning 30 in less than 2 months. That's nuts. Alright, why don't we go ahead and jump in here. And I am going to be using the Yoshi Fanatic profile. You don't think I feel old? Lamau, says Solar Flare. You don't deserve to feel old yet. Come back to me when you're 25. And you can let me know how you're feeling old then. Oh, my bro's back from college, but he visited every weekend because he goes to a university 10 minutes away from my house. So it's not a big addition, says Solar Flare. That works out. Hilo says, dang, saying my school caught on fire is against YouTube policies. Jeepers. Yeah, you said that in the Discord, and I feel bad because I didn't really bat an eye. Not from the things that you've said about your school. Choose your playstyle. Anyway, what do you think of the name Vince? I think it's a fine name. I think I was 9 as well when it released. Says Brainpick. That's crazy. You guys are making me feel old. Okay, so you can choose right off the bat whether you want mellow mode or classic mode. It's kind of a thing that Goodfield put in these 2 Yoshi games that they developed. Obviously, we're going classic mode because I ain't no baby. Hi guys, says Blues Cat. Welcome to the stream, Blues Cat. Welcome to Yoshi's Crafted World 5 years later. How are you doing? It caught on fire yesterday and today. There was a fight every day of the week, and I witnessed one, says Heloy. Jeez, are you traumatized yet? Okay, let's go. Guys, let me know how the volume is, by the way. I think I balanced things well enough, but you'll have to let me know. This is the lovely island of the Yoshis. At the topmost peak of the island sits a glistening, gem-set wonder known as the Sundream Stone. Legends say the Sundream Stone possesses the power to make anyone's wildest dreams come true. One fine day... My goodness. One fine day... And it's Kamek and Baby Bowser. How original. Baby Bowser and Kamek caught wind of the Sundream Stone and made their way to the island.
We'll be taking that.
My goodness, that is mine. You can't just steal my property like that. Especially since Orange Yoshi seems to love it so. Come on, Yoshis, you can do it! And apparently I was mistaken. They cannot do it. We need to set up the hero's journey, though. Can't have a hero's journey if you're already super strong from the beginning, I guess. When the Yoshis came to, they found themselves in an unfamiliar forest. Aw, the poor Yoshis seemed to be lost. That Sun Dream Stone ain't looking so hot. Oh my, the Dream Gems. They're all gone. The Sun Dream Stone isn't looking too hot now. Didn't I just say that? The plot is kind of like Yoshi's story, says Blue's Cat. In a way, yeah. What a tragedy. Someone better find those gems before Kamek and Baby Bowser do. Or whatever it said, because it was too fast for my slow reading. Ah! This allows me to progress! Follow the yellow brick road. Wonder where this path leads. Maybe it'll pave the way to the gems. What's going on, Christopher? Welcome to the stream. Looks like the Yoshis are sorting out who should go on this mission. Oh my goodness! So we have one Yoshi. What color Yoshi do we want, guys? What color Yoshi do we want? I need a consensus here. If it were my choice, I'd be going either light blue or purple. In the meantime, maybe I can catch up on some comments. Yo, Jeff, you ever seen Star Wars prequels? Yes, I have. I watched them with my in-laws. With Ethan in particular. They are big Star Wars fans over there. I liked them. Star Wars 2 and 3. Well, I liked those ones quite a bit. Star Wars 1 was... well, that was a thing. Oh, and guys, I finished both of my sculptures yesterday. Although I had to mid-painting it, and the teacher said, yeah, don't worry. I'll finish it. I come back a day later, and it's painted all white. Oh, jeepers. Well, I hope you had fun making it, at least. Worst part is that she even covered most of the carving, pretty much getting rid of 2 weeks' work. Oh my goodness, that stinks! I still prefer Yoshi's Woolly World story because of the dark implications of Wonder Wool, says Plush. That is absolutely fair. I made my whole class laugh because after my Spanish teacher, because she's a passive-aggressive B-word, didn't let me go to the bathroom, I said, "Aw, gee whiz!" You're quite the jokester, Solar Flare. Purple? 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 Looks like it's purple. Let's go purple Yosh. All set? Yeah, we sure are. I'm an Ohio State fan, and my favorite NFL team drafted a quarterback from Michigan University. And I don't know if I should support him. I definitely should, but like, he used to be a rival. Blue's Cat says purple! I'm surprised you didn't say blue. The journey to find the gems begins.
That thing looks like it's seen better days. Without its gems, it seems the stone has lost all its power. Useless! Then we'd better get moving and find them before the Yoshis do.
Jeff, I got a message on Facebook. What? Over the weekend? I don't understand. I'm like 4th in the line of class clown succession, but not the top, says Solar Flare. I recommend Catholic school education, but it costs money, says Solar Flare. As most private educations do. Ethan says, hello there. Hello there, Ethan. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Yoshi's Crafted World. 5 years later. Part 1! Oh, I probably should have mentioned this at the top, guys. I had made a request, says Plush. Freestyle rap as Jar Jar Binks. That sounds terrible, and I don't want to. Drink water, says Heloy. Okay. Okay, fine. Hang on. Thank you, Heloy. Alright, I probably should have mentioned this at the top. Aside from this being the 5-year anniversary of Yoshi's Crafted World, there is another reason that I want to stream this game. The main thing is, I streamed this game 5 years ago when it first came out. And Well, one, my live streams weren't the quality that they are now. Not saying that they're top notch right now or anything, but they're certainly better than they were. And two, probably more significantly, when I streamed this game, I basically just did the levels and the flip sides of each level, but I did not get all of the trinkets and stuff, all the fetch quests that, well, I'll introduce you guys to later, but I'm sure you're aware. I didn't do any of those. I didn't do, the hide and seek missions with, Lil Blockefeller as a part of the post game. I didn't do any of that on stream. I did it all off stream. I'll go ahead and get this loaded up so I'm not wasting too much time. I did them all off stream to save time and also give myself an excuse to play the game during the week between streams. And I think that was a mistake because you didn't get to see all of my honest reactions. Oh my goodness, I have to change the controls. You didn't get to see all my honest reactions and it's not recorded. So I'm gonna go type B. This is how we play. You didn't get to see all my reactions. They're not recorded. They are not on YouTube anywhere. So, I'm planning to rectify that. And you shall see what exactly this game has to offer for completionists. Wait, you're gonna suffer through the post-game for us? Gosh no, says Plush. Yes, Plush. Yes. As Cat Icarus would say, Yoshi's Tedious World. That's what we're playing today, and for the next several weeks. I'm actually not gonna have too much pain over it. I'm sorry if you guys do. I'm actually gonna enjoy it. I like this game more than most people do, I think. I'm fairly certain of that fact. I'm fairly certain that I like this game more than most. Like, yeah, I have my quibbles with it. But I still see this game as the quintessential mixed bag of the Yoshi series. I think there's a lot of good things, even a lot of great things that the game offers, and a lot of new stuff that it brings to the table even. But there's also a lot of stuff that, you know, makes me, you know, tilt my head in confusion sometimes, or, you know, make multiple trips to the grocery store just for a few items on my shopping list. Which I don't appreciate. It's very wasteful. Of both my time and my gas. So, yeah, let's just say the game's a mixed bag, but I think that I appreciate the good things more than I deride the bad things.
If you think you're going to find any gems, think again. In fact, you'll never even leave this place.
Jeff, man, it's actually crazy how much I've grown. I'm 5'8" now, tall as you, says Solar Flare. That's awesome. Heloy says, my coach measured me last month and he said I was 6'3", says Heloy. Jeepers.
Without a working train, you're dead in your tracks. Good luck finding the missing parts.
Yeah, I don't need your patronage. I don't need you to deride me. Just let me do my thing. I don't care if you disassemble the train right in front of me. Doesn't matter, I got this. You can't stop me even if you tried! Minecraft just announced the name of the new update, Tricky Trials, and there will be 3 new music DLCs, says Ethan. That sounds awesome, and I'm excited for you. Okay, real quick, I gotta catch up on some comments. Yo, Cat Icarus! Yes, indeed. Cat Icarus! I think it's okay, but I prefer Yoshi's Woolly World as anyone would. My favorite brother, your favorite brother, likes this game more than Yoshi's Woolly World, which is ew. Just ew, says Plush. Yeah, if any of you haven't seen it, I do in fact have an entire video going pretty much, well, quite in depth, comparing the two games, Yoshi's Woolly World and Yoshi's Crafted World. And surprise of all surprises, Yoshi's Woolly World does come out on top. Sorry to spoil the video. But I do think that they trade blows more than you would expect. At least I think so. Like, this game certainly has good things to offer. Like I said earlier, I definitely appreciate the new things that this game has. And I would even go so far as to say improvements that the game features. That said, there are a lot of more negative things too. So we obviously can't ignore those, and I will point them out as we play. I like the 2.5D where Yoshi can head into the foreground, says Chris. You know, that is one point of contention for me. I'm not sure if this would constitute a 3D game or a 2.5D game. I've stated in the past that I have always seen 2.5D as being a very narrow definition of a video game. You know, people will call a 2D game 2.5D if it includes 3D graphics. Like Ori and the Blind Forest, for example. Someone called that a 2.5D game, and I'm like, no, it is a 2D game with 3D game assets. 3D art style, 3D models. That does not make it 2.5D. 2.5D is where the game does have a third dimension, but it's not prevalent like it is in a true 3D game. Not like you can't just walk forward and backward on a whim. And for a long time, I'd considered that the only true 2.5D games were the side-scrolling beat-em-ups, like Double Dragon or TMNT 4 Turtles in Time, or for a more modern example, I guess, Mutant Mayhem is the name of the new one. That's what I had considered 2.5D for a very long time. But I'm starting to backtrack on that. I think that, to your point, Chris, this game would count as a 2.5D game because it is largely 2D, but it does have 3D elements, namely aiming eggs in the background, or aiming eggs in the background and the foreground. That's certainly a 3D element. And of course, walking forward and backward on like the paths where that's allowed. Yeah, I guess that this would be considered a 2.5D game. But I still hate the term 2.5D. Like, what the heck does that even mean? Like, we're talking about dimensions here, my guy. Dimensions. That it is an integer value. A round number. It has to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It cannot be between the dimensions. There's no such thing as 2.5D. But I get it. Like, people wanted a way to classify games that were largely 2D but had a 3D element to them. So, you know, I'm not gonna fault anyone too much for it. It's kind of just a minor sticking point for me. Crash Bandicoot, says Aurora. I guess, maybe? I'd say that's more of a 3D game that, or mostly 3D game that has 2D elements to it, but I guess that would also count. Jeff, you misread the last part of my comment. I'm sorry. 3 new music discs. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Allow me to open up the area for you. Just a sec. I like the extra movement options and the 2.5D stuff, but some other stuff makes it overall meh. Ah, yes, this music. Yeah. I'm a big fan with these kinds of games. That's what makes me love Mutant Mudds and even Virtual Boy Wario Land, says Chris. Interesting. I can see that. Phew, I feel so much better after that smiley flower. I'm Finn the Flower fan. Finn Blockefeller if you're feeling formal. Wow, that's a lot of F's in one sentence. F in the chat. How do you do? I am doing Yoshi. Yoshi, is it? What are you doing here? In search of gems, huh? Well, I did see something shimmering in the sky that landed not far from here. Let me see. Pretty sure it fell somewhere over there. Just follow this road and you'll be sure to find it. Best of luck. Should I be reading those guys in a robot voice? I feel like that would be more appropriate. Kazoo intensifies. The gotcha machine music, says Plush. Jeff, my NFL draft reaction short has gotten like 500 views in an hour or so. That's awesome. Congrats. Yoshi is doing Yoshi. You know what? That was a poor way of phrasing that. I'm sorry. Jeff, have you ever heard of Klonoa? Says Plush. I have. I had downloaded the demo for the Reverie collection on the Switch, but I decided to buy the game on Steam instead. Mostly just for the achievements. I haven't played it yet. I did play the demo. I liked what I played. In fact, I saw many parallels to the Yoshi series that I did appreciate. Especially with, like, you know, grabbing enemies and throwing them. And, like, the kind of 2.5D aspect of it. I don't know if it was really 2.5D. Like, I feel like that game, like, yeah, they were, like, rotating 3D sceneries, but, you know, I think that the gameplay really took place in 2D, if I remember right. But, like I said, I haven't really played the game all that much, just the demo. And I liked what I played. Would you guys be Would you guys be interested in watching me play some Klonoa at some point in the future? Like I said, that's one of the games that very much reminds me of Yoshi, so I would be interested in streaming it. I feel like it would make a good stream series. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Vacuum Blink, welcome to the stream! It's a rare solar flare hyped up moment, and my bro got a voice reveal, being the cameraman. It's a solar flare. Okay. Brainpig says, me and my brother were playing Mario Kart earlier, and out of nowhere, I just pull out a vid called, Kaka Huatazo? Trust me, it's the best video you'll all ever see. Okay. Wow. Hilo says, Jeff, when you are rich, can you buy me a $3,000, Balenciaga, tape bracelet? No. If I had $3,000, I would use it to repair my fence. You can throw stuff in the foreground and the background, says Aurora. Okay, I did not remember that. Oh yes, Klonoa, yes! I would love to stream that at some point. I've got some other games in the lineup right now. The current games that I'll be streaming after this will be Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Only I'll be streaming it like a month after it comes out because I want to beat this game first. Oops. And Mario 64 and Mario 64 DS. Donkey Kong 94. Those are pretty much the ones that are next on my list. And I'm also fitting Yoshi Topsy Turvy and the Game Boy Advance version of Yoshi's Island in there somewhere around their respective anniversaries. Balenciaga. Okay. Aga? I was kidding, but still, 3,000 for a roll of tape is crazy. Yeah, for sure, Heloy. There are many things that I would prefer to spend $3,000 on than a roll of tape. Although I'm sure that's an exaggeration, of course. Okay, I haven't missed anything yet, I don't think. Excuse-moi. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Have you heard of Mutant Muds? Says Chris. I have. I only ever played the demo for the one, like the first one, which was on the 3DS. I mean, it was probably on other stuff, but, you know, going into the foreground and background really showcased, or was really showcased the best on the 3DS as far as I understand. Again, I liked what I played, but I didn't buy the full game. Enjoyed it enough, though. I'm sure that I would enjoy playing it. Okay. There's a gift in the background. And it's a 1 coiny coin. Come here, you. Yum, 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 yum. I'm kind of surprised that none of those were red coins. Okay. What do I want to talk about? What do I want to talk about with this game? There's so many thoughts going through my head and I don't know what to talk about first. I don't know. What should I talk about? I haven't even showcased my favorite ability in the game yet. Like I said earlier, there's definitely some things that were added to the game that I really enjoyed, and one of them is the egg jump. It's what I would call an advanced Yoshi maneuver, which is kind of funny to think about when you phrase it like that. But yeah, I'd consider it pretty advanced. So this is the first game. Well, I guess let me put some context behind this. It's nothing new that Yoshi can throw eggs and have them ricochet off of stuff. That's pretty much a thing in every Yoshi game, except for Yoshi Topsy Turvy, where you do not get to throw eggs. And yes, Yoshi's Story does count, because you can ricochet the eggs off of a very select few things. Primarily, I think the urchin thingies, not urchin, the anemone things in the jungle levels, you can get your eggs to ricochet off of those. And the enemy, like, whatever his name was, the guy with the bulging lips. It's nothing new that Yoshi can throw eggs and have them ricochet off of stuff. But you know what is new? Having the ability to throw eggs and jump off of them after they've ricocheted. I call this the egg jump. I don't really know what else to call it, so we called it something completely unoriginal. It's a move that has a lot of applications, and I will be using it a lot in the stream series. And I mean a lot. It is absolutely my favorite new thing in Yoshi's Crafted World. And like I said, you will see me using it a lot. There might be some, like, you know, shortcuts that I'll take, like I'll skip a few things. There's one level in particular I'm thinking of that, like, has a bunch of magnet puzzles, and you can easily skip at least 90% of them with this egg jump. Like, you don't even need to do them at all. It's pretty fantastic. And like I said, I will happily show these to you. Okay. End of the level, hooray. I played it on the PS Vita, and I still have it to this day, says Chris. I don't have a 3DS in my life, but I considered getting one. I mean, a PS Vita is pretty sweet. I never had one, but I always wanted to get one. I mean, obviously, now it's kind of out of the question, but... yeah, like, the PS Vita is a solid, solid piece of gaming hardware. Jeff, watch... oh, boy. I don't know, it's a life-changing vid. How do you even pronounce that? Kako Huetazion Chilada. I have no idea what that even is, let alone how to pronounce it. I hate the fact that you auto-swallow enemies after eating them. What in particular tipped you off that I was Vince, says Plush. I mean, you know... Solar Flare mentioned that your profile had several things in it that were, you know, reminiscent of your main profile. Yeah, I did see that you were in multiple of the same servers. And like that sort of stuff. Oh, and the fact that you posted, what was it, Olimar or Ness Yoshi Woolly World costume, and said that it should definitely be an emoji. Solar Flare says, Jeff, I misspelled it. Oh no! Enchilada is in there. I want an enchilada now. When someone asks me to imitate a Koopa, I say Birdo Birdo, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. That's not what a Koopa says. Welcome to the stream, Yoshi Daffy Duck. Jeff, I'm having Nutella, hot chocolate, and Dad made a campfire, says Ethan. I like the sound of one of those things. I'll let you guess which one. Especially if it's a modded PS Vita, you can do anything with it, says Chris. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Plush, you're right. You do auto-swallow enemies in this game, which does remove an element of, complexity, I guess. It's not like Yoshi games are super complex. 5 years of Yoshi's Crappy World, says Luke. Oh, now hold on. Hold on. Yoshi's Crafted World is not crappy. Jeff, you must tell me. I want you to guess, Ethan. I want you to guess which one of those things that I like the sounds of. Hello, Graggle Simpson. Welcome to the stream. How are you? But yeah, to your point, Plush, auto-swallowing enemies in this game is not great. If any of you guys doesn't know, in most Yoshi games, not all, but most, when you eat an enemy, or when I should say gobble an enemy, like, when Yoshi, licks up an enemy and, like, you know, eats him, I guess, most of the time he does not automatically swallow the enemy to make an egg. Most of the time, he holds it in his mouth until he is ready to spit it out or swallow it. And that's entirely up to you when you choose to do that. So, Yoshi is limited to 6 eggs that he can hold. But with the advent of being able to hold an enemy in Yoshi's mouth, you essentially have 7 bits of ammunition that you can use at any given time. Not so in this game. In this game, Yoshi automatically swallows pretty much every enemy you come across, without the ability to spit it out later. Like, I'm not hitting down or the ZL button or anything, or crouch. I'm not controlling Yoshi to swallow the enemy. He does that automatically. That does remove an element of complexity, and I'm not a huge fan of that. It's not a huge deal, honestly. Like, this game is easy enough to the point where it doesn't really matter that that's a thing, but I mean, it does remove an element of complexity, and that's, yeah. It's also one of the things that I feel like most people like about Yoshi games. And speaking of things that people like in Yoshi games that is not present in this one, is one of my favorite mechanics, is the boosted flutter jump. That is also not here. For clarity, the boosted flutter jump, well, y'all know what the flutter jump is. It's when Yoshi kicks his feet and, you know, flutters, stays in the air for a little bit, and you can do it repeatedly. If, in most Yoshi games, again, not all, but most, in most Yoshi games, when you jump off of an enemy, you will get a flutter jump that goes higher than it normally would otherwise. That is not a thing here. Yoshi just does a normal flutter jump after jumping off an enemy. So, that bothers me more than automatically swallowing an enemy. Just because the boosted flutter jump is one of, if not my favorite mechanics in Yoshi games. No boosted flutter jump, says Plush. No boosted flutter jump. That is not a thing in this game. And that is the thing I bemoan more than the automatic swallow. Hey Jeff, says Robert. Hey Robert, welcome to the stream. How are you today? I think I know, says Ethan. I think it's the Nutella hot chocolate that you would rather not have. You are correct! My hot take is not even a take, it's just a matter of taste and opinion. I don't like Nutella. I just think it tastes yucky. That's not me saying that it's bad and no one should like it. Calm down. Put those pitchforks away. I'm not saying you can't enjoy Nutella, but I don't like it. Is Queso secretly a Yoshi because he can eat anything just like Yoshi, says Heloy. That's a good question.
And where do you think you're going?
No, Moly Yoshi, says Aurora. I made a funny, says Luke. Haha, funny. Oh yeah, I read it. 5 years of Yoshi's Crappy World. I saw that, Luke, and I responded to it. How, says Ethan. This is my simple response. How I don't like Nutella? I don't know, man, but I've tried it on a few different occasions, and I just don't like it. It just doesn't taste good to me.
I'll send you to your watery tomb.
Okay, so I don't think that I talked about this in the last stream series that I did. But this is essentially a mini boss fight in like the 3rd level. And, well, y'all know how I feel about, well, maybe you don't. I am not super fond of the way bosses tend to work in Yoshi games. Mostly just because they suck for getting, you know, full health on. Oh, you trickster. Like, if I get damaged here, then there's no way that I can regain health, and I'll have to play the whole level again. Which I suppose isn't a huge issue, because I do have to replay each level an average of 5 times. So, I guess that's not really a huge issue. Have you tried it with peanut butter, says Luke. That kind of just sounds redundant. Like, why would you eat peanut butter with Nutella? They're both nut butters. I don't really understand. But no, I haven't. You know what? Yes, I have. Yes, I have, actually. It was when I made Korean French toast. I put peanut butter on one layer and Nutella on the other, and I still didn't like it. Jeff, have you read about Brainpick leading me to self-discovery? Says Solar Flare. No, I kind of just left that alone because it looked like a conversation between you two. I mean, I guess that's like you not liking coffee, says Ethan. Exactly, it just doesn't taste good to me. Hey, Yoshi! How'd you like Yarktopus Docks? So much to see, huh? I've been hoping for a local souvenir. Here it comes. I'd love a flatfish, please. Let me help you out. This fella's pretty sizable and dwells on the ocean floor. If you see one, just toss an egg at that sucker. Yeah, just go back and play in the level again and find me a souvenir. I'll explain more later why I don't like this. I like the low frame rate stop motion effects as a Blues Cat. Yeah, it is interesting. It's clever. I don't like it very much. I don't really like stop motion. But it's a cool effect, I guess. Plush says, I don't like Nutella. I love it. My German class had an almost empty jar and I emptied it. Didn't show up for like a week because I was sick. German class rumors it was Nutella. Robert says, I've been good, and I've been really enjoying the DLC for Crosscode. I'm really happy to hear that, Robert. I'm happy that you like Crosscode. It does seem like I don't know if it's a necessarily popular game, but it seems to be a pretty well-renowned indie game with some, I'm gonna say clout. Like, it's got a well-deserved reputation. We're gonna go ahead and exit the course. Which game is worse to complete? Crafted World or It's About Time? I haven't played It's About Time. Yoshi the Best says, Crafted World has been 5 years ago? Gosh. Yeah, right? Welcome to the stream, Yoshi. It seems I've revealed a dark secret that Jeff holds, says Ethan. Yes, you have. It's been revealed on stream before. Woo! You found me a flatfish! As thanks for your help, I present you with this. Ah, flower. Is this the flower I gave you earlier? Flowers draw a smile on just about anyone's face. If someone's feeling low, just hand them some flowers, that'll do the trick. I've got another request. I've got another request! I'd love some flightless Goonies, please. I think 6 should do the trick. I hear they hang around the port. Collect 6 for me if you please. If you see one, just toss an egg at that sucker. Plush says, what's the dark secret? That your name is Jeff? Says Plush. Shh, Plush. I said that I can't reveal my name. That it is Jeff until 1,500 subscribers. Was I there? Says Ethan. You might have been. I'm not sure. Okay. So I'm gonna do one more of these souvenir hunts. Just to show you guys what they're all about. What I'm planning to do is dedicate the first 2 hours of each of these live streams to regular old gameplay of just the normal levels, playing through them normally, and probably getting the Poochie Pups. And then the last hour of the stream I will be spending getting the souvenirs. There is a reason why I am not super stoked about this whole process. For anyone who hasn't seen my Yoshi's Crafted World vs. Woolly World video, I described this with a funny skit. So, what these robots do is they ask you to go back into the levels that you've already played to find some cardboard cutouts or some paper cutouts of, you know, various things. normally they're like different animals or characters or even just like regular objects in the background. Like these Goonies, for example. And that's fine and good. Like, finding them all isn't like that hard most of the time. Sometimes it can be a challenge. You kind of do have to keep your eye out, and there are some BS locations for some of them. But the biggest concern I have with this is the fact that it makes you replay every level a multitude of times. And yes, I know I missed the Goonie. I'm gonna go back and get it. I just needed some eggs. So it makes you play the level an average of 5 times is what I found out. Oh! I thought the Flying Goonies counted. I thought I was almost done. Nope. Anyway, it's an average of 5 times that you have to replay every level, assuming that you find everything on your first go-around, which, you know, if you did find everything on your first go-around for every level, it would be a miracle. Go buy yourself a lottery ticket. Just kidding, that's not financial advice, don't do that. So, the analogy that I use to describe this mechanic is, it's like going grocery shopping, except instead of going and getting everything in one go, you look at your shopping list. You say, hey, I need to buy milk. So you drive to the store, pick up the milk and buy it. Come back, put it on the counter. And then you say, okay, the next item on my list is bread. Then you get back in your car, you drive to the store again, you buy the bread, then you put it on the counter with your now curdled milk. And then you look at your list again. You're like, all right, next we need eggs. And then you do that ad nauseum until your shopping list is complete. That is essentially what these souvenir missions are. I don't think I mentioned this yet, but you can only do one set of collectibles and souvenirs and stuff. You can only do one set of them per playthrough of the stage. You can't do multiple. Even though all of these souvenirs and stuff are all in the level at all times, you could easily just, like, he could easily just give you a list, like, okay, find the cuttlefish, find the, or, well, I guess in this case, find the Goonies, find the, I don't know, crabs, find blah, blah, blah. Like, he could easily give you that list all up front, and you could just, you know, find them as you go. But he doesn't do that. He asks you to get them one type at a time. So like I said, you have to play through each level an average of 5 times in order to get all of them. And that is a completion criteria. So, that is my big problem with the souvenirs. But unlike the last time I streamed this game, you will see me do all of these. I mean, you personally might not, but I will be streaming all of it. It will be in recorded history on YouTube. Anyway, you missed a comment. I'm sorry! What was the comment? 2 words directed at Blockefeller. Middle finger. Finger of the middle? That's appropriate. I mean, no, but yes, I understand it. It's about time the cheesiest game title ever heard. Says Yoshi Daffy Duck. I mean, it's up there. I don't know about the cheesiest. I'm back. My computer was being weird, says Heloid. That's okay. Welcome back. Jeffrey! What? What's the Jeffiest Yoshi of them all? The Jeffiest Yoshi of them all is the Jeff in Mario Kart 8 that's wearing a Yoshi costume. That's the Jeffiest Yoshi. I had a few too many melatonin gummies. Are you sleepy, Solar Flare? Plush says she's getting sleepy as well. Plush, if you need to tune out, no problem. Go get yourself some sleep, you deserve it. So basically it makes you replay the level like 6 times. Almost. That excluding the fact you need to replay it in reverse for the mini pooches. Yes, so 7 plus the Lil Blockefeller hide and seek missions. He hides in each of the levels and you have to find him. You can pair that with the souvenir hunts, but, you know, if you don't, then it's 8 times that you have to play each level. Alright, have a good night, Solar Flare. Get some sleep. When you first hear the name Woody, what character do you think of? I think of Woody from Toy Story. Okay, another request. I'd love some crabs, please. You're gonna have to wait, mister. You're gonna have to wait. Okay, let's move on. Ugh, I'm wiped out. If only I had 5 smiley flowers. Woody Woodpecker. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm making the Blockefeller feel better. Here you go. Thanks, that really puts a spring in my step. What are the chances, Jeff? What are the chances of what? You think of me thinking of Woody Woodpecker? I'm watching Toy Story right now. Ah, well that chance is pretty low. I don't know an exact number. Okay, I should probably mention this. I do think that using the smiley flowers as a progression tool is interesting. I'm a completionist for Yoshi games, obviously. So that's never an issue for me. But it is interesting that they choose to gate off the different areas of the game with the smiley flowers. It kind of does give them purpose, which they do have in the other Yoshi games, but this is different. I do like the idea of giving smiley flowers for each of these missions, like getting all 20 red coins, getting the full health in the stage, collecting 100 coins in the stage, which, that's never a problem for me. And then obviously finding all the smiley flowers. Like, all of those things result in more smiley flowers, which you need for your progression, as you've seen. It's an interesting way of doing things, and I don't mind it, honestly. The reason being is it actually does give purpose to getting full health in the stage other than another checklist item. Like, it gives you the reward of a smiley flower, and I think that's actually pretty cool. Like, if there was a different reward for getting full health in each stage, like in the other Yoshi games, I don't think that I would think it's so cool, but I do here just because of that fact. Like, it's not something that was previously rewarded in any meaningful way. The only times that it actually is important is in, well, Yoshi's Island and Yoshi's Island DS, I guess. Not even Yoshi's New Island. Well, yeah, Yoshi's New Island. Like, you had to 100% complete every level in order to access the S level, so... You know, it's still gated off by the full health requirements. But in Yoshi's Story, Yoshi Topsy-Turvy, Yoshi's Woolly World, and, well, yeah, I guess that's it. Getting full health doesn't really do a single darn thing. And Yoshi's Crafted World tackled that problem in an interesting way, and I appreciate that. What's going on, Teddy Crusher? Welcome to the stream! And Woody Woodpecker's rival's called Buzz Buzzard. How ironic. Says Yoshi Daffy Duck. I'm watching Avengers Endgame, says Blues Cat. That's awesome. I liked Avengers Endgame. There is this great video on YouTube. I think the YouTuber's name is Fringy. It's a video that, I'd say is pretty divisive, but again, I like it and do resonate with a lot of its, points. The video is titled Avengers Endgame is Terrible. And you don't necessarily have to agree with that. I do resonate with a lot of the points that he makes. But all in all, like, I still like Avengers Endgame. But it was a great video. It's like 2 hours long. It really discusses the problems that the movie has. Also, I completely just sidestepped that entire thing. Thank you, Egg Jump. I'm watching Sing 2, a couple hours ago. Did you see the video Where T? Says Luke. I mean, probably. I've seen many videos with the letter T in them. I have a feeling that's not what you meant to say. Give me the coines! Holy cow, that's a lot of coines. It was raining coins. That's kind of neat. Okay. Okay, this right here is emblematic of one of the other main problems I have with Yoshi's Crafted World. Did you see the video where one person threw 2 rocks on the Switch controller with breezy mode on, and he beat a level with doing nothing but that? No, I did not see that. What? Anyway, something that I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but I did bring up in my Yoshi's Crafted World versus Woolly World video. Okay, this is actually a great place to demonstrate this. The 3D egg throwing is very novel, but I hate how they implement it. You aim the cursor in 2D until it snaps to an object of interest in either the foreground or the background. Like, you can't just straight up aim in 3D. It has to snap to something that will react to the egg being thrown. It's not an option, it is a requirement that you do so. And that sucks, because there are times when that really gets in the way of, it hinders your aiming of in 3D. And why that's a problem is, like in that time challenge you saw, I had to hit all the Shy Guys holding the blue coins in a certain amount of time. And it wasn't so bad there, but like, they end up moving around a whole lot in later ones. And that can be a problem, because when you aim the cursor in 3D, your cursor will go back to being just 2D. It's Poochie! And he's cute. Of course he is, it's Poochie. He's a good boy. Your cursor will go back to aiming in 2D if it loses the target of interest in the background. Or foreground, rather. And the reason that sucks is because that can result in a lot of missed throws. A lot of throws where your target just goes in 2D and does not hit its target in 3 dimensions. And for those timed challenges, that can be a major sticking point for me. Especially in levels like the Monty Mole level, where you like exterminate a bunch of Monty Moles essentially just by, you know, throwing eggs at them, and they're all, well, almost all in the foreground and background. That's a sticking point for me. Alright, Pooch, let's go. How else would you aim in 3D? Says Aurora. I mean, the industry standard is twin sticks controls. Something like I have noted that there's a few different ways that they could accomplish this. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to. I hope none of those are red coins. And one of them was. Anyway, there's a couple different ways you could tackle that problem. One of them is, well, like I said, twin sticks. But another way would be like, there's always, in this game, one button at least that is not used for anything. Like, if you take a look at the controls settings, and go to the buttons, there's always one button, no matter which type that you use. There's always one button that is not used at all. In my case, it's the X button. So if they wanted to maintain the ability to play this game with one Joy-Con independently of any other controllers, they could still do that by, you know, going this normal, like, this approach for aiming with, you know, aiming in 2D and then snapping to objects of interest in the foreground or the background. They could still do that, and then, like, switch to a 3D aiming mode, using that button. Like, say that I'm aiming in 2D here, and I want to hit that guy in the background. Well, I mean, in a perfect world, or in the world where I would like to see this being done, you would hit the X button, and that would allow you to aim freely in 3D. That way, if your cursor comes off of the target, like you're trying to lead the target, for example, which does get to be more important in later levels, then you could do so, and the 3D aiming wouldn't be disrupted by the character in the background moving. I think that that's the way to go. Wait a minute, did I get everything? No! It's something over here. It's absolutely something over here. I'm missing something over here. So that's how I would tackle the 3D egg throwing problem. Oh, what do you guys think? Oh man, I gotta head out, says Brainpick. See y'all. Good night. Good night, Brainpick. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you, my man. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Where am I missing? What am I missing? Where am I missing it? Are you the culprit? No. But that was fun anyway. What am I missing? This might actually give me a good opportunity to... Well, hang on. I was gonna say, this might actually give me a good opportunity to explain something else that I like about, Yoshi's Crafted World. And Yoshi's Woolly World does the same exact thing. If you don't find everything in the level, and you decide to come back and look for everything, that's certainly something that you can do, and the game will remember everything that you collected the last time you played the level. So, like right now, I don't have the last flower or the last red coin. So if I were to finish the level now, the game would remember that I collected 19 out of the 20 red coins and pretty much all of the flowers. But I'm missing one of each. And I don't know where I'm missing it. I think Crosscode is my favorite indie RPG, says Robert. That's awesome. Definitely counts as an action RPG. And that's probably my favorite kind of RPG. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it, Robert. I want to get back to playing more of it, but I have not found that I have had the time to do so. I feel like there's a present that I'm missing somewhere. Oh, here's one other thing I like about this game. Yoshi games in general tend to have the bad habit... Oh, that's absolutely the red coin. Yoshi games in general tend to have the bad habit of not letting you go back in the level and find things that you missed. This game, or this Yoshi game, actually does a pretty good job allowing you to go back and find things. There's not... I don't think that there's pretty much any. If there are any, it's very, very minimal. But there are very sparingly few one-way doors. There's a couple spots where, like, you fall down a crevasse and, like, you can't get back up it unless you do, like, the egg jump several times. So, like, there are definitely spots where that happens, but they're vanishingly few. This game honestly does a very good job of, well, keeping that to a minimum, letting you go back if you want to and try and find stuff you missed. And I really, really appreciate that. Yoshi's Island actually did a better job of, you know, not locking the doors behind you. Better than I thought it did. When I went back and replayed it a couple of years ago, I did notice that it wasn't nearly as bad as I remembered it being in that aspect, and definitely not as bad as some other Yoshi games in that regard. Where is this other flower? I guess what I'll do is I'll go finish the level. I found everything else. I'll finish the level and I'll come back and look for the flower. I guess when I go do the I guess when I come back and do the souvenir missions. May as well not come back to it until then. It's gonna bother me a little bit that I don't have everything. Like, I don't want to move on, but I think that's probably the best way to go. Oh, here we go. Who's ready for some flip side of the stage action? Eloy says, epic dance. Yeah. Oh. What will you do? Let's go find Okay, Robert says, what kind of art style do you want for the next Yoshi game? I have a couple ideas. My ideas are mostly... Okay, so if we're gonna do another 2D Yoshi... Okay, I guess this could actually apply to both 2D and 3D Yoshi game, but I think one is more appropriate than the other for certain reasons. Let me go ahead and stop beating around the bush. If we're doing another 2D game, I would like to see a hand-drawn art style, similar to, for the sake of developers, I'm gonna go ahead and say, Wario Land Shake It. You know how Wario Land Shake It has a hand-drawn art style that it's very much 2D assets, but, you know, characters and environments and stuff look like they were drawn by hand? That kind of thing is what I would like to see. Not quite the same as, like, Cuphead, for example, but Wario Land Shake It's a good example. Shantae Half Genie Hero is a good example. I really like the art style on that one. So hand-drawn for a new 2D game. And if a new 3D game, something like Kirby Star Allies or Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Something that's like, you know, it's 3D stuff, but, you know, stuff looks like it has softer edges, but at the same time, like, the backgrounds are gorgeous, and, like, you could have that sort of thing going on. It's very visually striking, even though things have, like, very rounded corners and looks all cutesy and all that sort of thing. I think that those are my go-to art styles, selections for a new Yoshi game. Primarily because, okay, I guess I would prefer the hand-drawn art style. I would like both of them equally, I think, but I think that the hand-drawn art style might be more appropriate because it would keep in sort of spirit with what they were going for in Yoshi's Island, for example. The whole like marker and crayon sort of aesthetic in that game. If you wanted to keep to that sort of spirit, hand-drawn might be the way to go. But at the same time, not make it all arts and craftsy. I don't know. Those are my two options, but what do you guys think? Did you know that if you play the breezy modes, you get flower track E that are to tell you how close you are to a flower? This is Luke. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so I played mellow mode for the first time with JJ when he first started wanting to play this game. And I learned a few things about mellow mode that I would not have otherwise. You know what, let's go back and do the Poochie Pup missions. It's pretty mindless, so... You know, that'll allow me to keep talking. Mellow mode... So, in other Yoshi games... My goodness, what am I trying to say here? When I think mellow mode, I think like no damage mode or invincibility mode, and that's not what it is. It's not like a... Oh, whoops, I didn't do the flip side. It's not like a Yoshi and Mario Wonder sort of situation where he just doesn't take damage. Like, he still takes damage in mellow mode. Though, depending on the game, it might be like less damage. And I think that's the case in Yoshi's Crafted World. Your flunder jumps slowly increase your altitude. So... in classic mode here, if you flutter jump, you pretty much just stay at the same height. You don't go up or down at all. But in mellow mode, you actually do slowly gain height from repeated flutter jumps. And it also points out secrets to you. Like Luke said, if you're close to a flower, it'll give you the indication that, hey, you're near a flower. And then same kind of thing with like uncoverable passages and that sort of thing. Come here, you. So that's the deal with mellow mode. There's definitely a few advantages it gives you. Obviously, I'm not gonna do mellow mode because I am an adult playing a children's game, so you know, I need any semblance of challenge that I can get. See, that was an example of me trying to lead the target and it just did not work. Or maybe it was like my cursor fell slightly behind, but it might have still hit if I was still aiming in 3D, but I wasn't, so it missed. It's unfortunate, it really is. Would you play as Woolly World Yoshi skin in Mario Kart? Asks Yoshi Daffy Duck. I guess so. The Woolly and crafted art style is certainly not my favorite, and in fact, I've actually gotten to dislike it quite a bit over the years. Not because it's visually unpleasant, but because I feel that because of, well, as is evidenced from these art styles, the developers of Yoshi games have learned the wrong lessons from Yoshi's Island. It's not all about the aesthetic driving the setting and all that of the and all the gameplay and everything. The art style was basically just to make it look unique back in the day. I'm not gonna go on that whole tangent because I've talked about that several times. I mean, let me know if you want to hear more, of course, but the point is, I'm pretty tired of the Woolly style and the crafted style. I would dabble in a Woolly World skin for Yoshi and Mario Kart. But it would not be my main one. Absolutely not. Do you consider yourself Sony, Xbox, or Nintendo fanboy? Says Chris. No. I do not consider myself a fanboy of pretty much anything. Other than maybe Yoshi. But of the three main video game console manufacturers, no, I do not consider myself a fanboy of any of them. I will very readily critique any of them for mishaps or bad choices or the like. None of them is perfect. None of them is immune from making bad decisions. Nintendo themselves have made quite a few no-nos. You know, like shutting down Super Smash Bros. Tournaments, making the Super Mario 3D All-Stars a timed release, along with a couple others. Their hardware certainly isn't perfect. The Joy-Con definitely makes sure of that. There's a lot of things that Nintendo does wrong, and even though, like, I would consider myself a Nintendo fan, first and foremost, in the console race anyway, like I said, Nintendo is not perfect, and I will very readily point out their flaws. A fanboy would do no such thing. When I think fanboy, I think of someone who will defend their company of choice's decisions to the ends of the earth, and I would not. I'm not of the mistaken impression that these companies give one single iota of a care about my opinions or whether I defend them or not. They are a corporation in the end. So no, I'm not willing to fight tooth and nail for a company like this. Like I said, I think that's primarily what institutes a fanboy. Or fangirl. Or whatever, I guess. So I hope that answers your question. I am not a fanboy. Same. Each of them has their own pros and cons. Each of them has exclusives, says Chris. Indeed. Indeed, that is the case. I feel that Nintendo has the most compelling exclusives, at least for my taste in video games. And especially in this generation, they have a decent amount of third-party support, but their relatively anemic consoles tend to drive away, you know, AAA releases like Call of Duty, for example, which would probably do quite well on the Switch, honestly. And this generation in particular, their hardware is especially faulty. I've gotten Joy-Con drift in several of my Joy-Cons at this point. I thought I was immune from the problem for a while, and indeed I'm not. I actually did send in my, one of my Joy-Cons in that I didn't tamper with. I sent it into Nintendo for a repair because, like, I could go ahead and fix it myself. Like, I could buy a replacement joystick that is Hall effect sensing and likely won't drift, at least in a conventional way. Is likely to be more durable and all that. I could do that, but it's $20 for a pair, which is it's an absolutely reasonable price for something like that. But Nintendo has extended their warranty for the Joy-Con to lifetime, as far as I'm aware. And it's in certain regions and not in others. Here in the US, it absolutely is a thing. You can contact Nintendo And you can send in your faulty Joy-Con and they will repair it free of charge, so long as you haven't voided the warranty by opening it and fiddled with it. Unfortunately, I hadn't in that Joy-Con, so I was able to send it in free of charge. They fixed it free of charge. And yeah, my Joy-Con now works perfectly fine. Okay. But yeah, just the fact that that is a problem at all, and there are other problems with the Switch. You know, clearly Nintendo is not perfect. Oh, I should probably go ahead and keep going here because I am on a time limit. I probably should go ahead and use this as an opportunity to explain the whole thing about the Poochie Pups. If you're confused at all about as to what's happening, I am running through the game, or I am running through the level backwards to find 3 Poochie Pups. These adorable little guys. And that is the entire point of this little exercise here. I am finding the Poochie Pups and making it to the end, and if I get there in a certain amount of time, I get an extra smiley flower. Each of the Poochie Pups gives you 1 smiley flower, and you get another one if you get to the end of the level within a certain time limit. And that's gonna change depending on the level. Like, this one was 3 minutes, which I feel is pretty generous considering I did that in half the time. But other times it's pretty stringent. So that's the whole thing with the Poochie levels, or the flip sides of the levels, which I do want to say, Nintendo played up the flip side of the levels way more in the early trailers for the game, especially. It looked like it was going to be a much bigger mechanic than it ended up being. Like, as it is, it's a cool little mechanic, but it does not reach its potential. Like, when you're going through the levels regularly the first time, there are times that you'll see the flip side of the levels, like the time challenges, but the early trailers made it look like you could do that at any time, which I feel like would have made it more frustrating from a completion standpoint, because things could be hidden anywhere at any time, on either the front or the back side, but it probably would have been more interesting and compelling than what we ended up getting. Gameloft and Epic Games likes to waste your time, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. If you think about it, all video games are a waste of time. It's a hobby. So if you want to be technical, all video games love to waste your time. Though some are worse than others, I will say that. Chris says, I will say that Nintendo is too strict with their games, and Nintendo needs to step up their console performance, says Chris. I resonate with the first point. Like, for example, I'm sure you guys heard of this. They issued a DMCA for games that or for mods in Gary's mod that have their IPs, which I don't really understand what Gary's mod is, but I do understand that that's pretty stinky. And as far as they need to step up their console performance, I think need is a strong word. They should, but I don't think they need to. Especially, like, the Switch has demonstrated that if a console sells well enough, third parties, in a lot of cases, will bend over backwards to get their games on the system because they'll sell well, just from pure market saturation. The fact that the Switch has 140 million consoles out there, basically 140 million people have access to a Nintendo Switch, and companies will put their games on the Switch even if there are major compromises to doing so. It's just in their financial interest to do that. Not all will do that, but many will. And I do want to note that out of all the console races, there have been vanishingly few where the most powerful console wins the console race. I would say that the only examples I can really think of, well, maybe the PS4 versus Xbox One. The PS4 was stronger than the Xbox One, and it did sell more. But it wasn't because of the power. It was definitely because of more, what I would consider, more important factors than just raw horsepower. Still, horsepower can definitely be a limiting factor. Like in terms of how games perform, where you'll want to buy the games, but ultimately I don't think it's the most important thing. Like, you know, the most powerful console in the 5th generation, N64 versus PlayStation versus what was it, Sega Saturn at that point? I think the most powerful console was the N64 in terms of raw horsepower, but it was limited by several factors, including the fact that they went with the Nintendo 64 cartridges instead of, you know, CD discs. That was redundant. CD stands for compact disc. Anyway, PlayStation killed that generation. They sold like over 100 million copies, whereas the N64 sold like... No, I gotta play the level again! Sold like, what was it, like 30 million, 35, 40? Somewhere around there. It did not sell gangbusters. The 6th generation of consoles. GameCube, PlayStation 2, and the original Xbox. The most powerful system in that lineup was the Xbox. And it beat the GameCube, but, well, I'm pretty sure y'all know that the PlayStation won that generation. The PlayStation 2 won the 6th generation of consoles. They also, well, okay. Then the 7th generation was the Wii, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. The most powerful console, it's kind of debated between the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. But they both lost to the more anemic Nintendo Wii. It didn't even have HDMI output, but it still killed that generation, selling 101 million units versus Xbox and PlayStation's like 75 to 80 million. I forget where exactly it ranked up. What I'm trying to say is that the winner of the console generation is not necessarily dictated by its horsepower. In fact, that's rarely an indication of which console will win the race. The problem with beefing up the hardware, it's hard to keep it portable, powerful, and affordable, says Aurora. Right, you are. And if anything, we've seen with the advent of multiple different handheld PC variants, you know, the Steam Deck, Asus ROG Ally, the MSI Claw, the Legion Go, or the Lenovo Legion Go, or whatever it's called. These are all portable handheld PCs that take a lot of design cues from the Nintendo Switch, and their battery lives are just paltry, my guy. Just paltry. And it's because they're powerful. It's because they're driving a beautiful screen. It's because they are driving a powerful CPU and GPU, or I guess it could be an APU. I don't really know what's in all of them. I forget. I don't follow them that closely. But they have battery lives that are like on the order of an hour, 2 hours if you're lucky, maybe 3 if you're really super duper lucky. Keeping it portable, like, there are going to be some drawbacks. There's going to be some compromise. I'm gonna go ahead and restart the level because I missed that UFO. It's worth 500 points. Nintendo's gonna have to strike a fine line with their successor system. If they decide to go with the portable, or the hybrid console again, which I really hope they do, they're going to have to figure out a good compromise. It cannot be like the most powerful thing. It cannot have the best battery life. And it cannot be a chonk, because it does have to stay portable if they want to go that approach. If it was PS4 level of quality, I'd be stoked. Yeah, it should definitely be more powerful than the original Switch, but I feel like that kind of goes without saying. Fred. I'll get back to some comments here in a minute. I know I'm missing some, so bear with me. I'll get back to them. Okay. Where's this UFO? Where is it? No, there it is. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. I struggled a whole lot with this level when I first streamed this game, and clearly that extends to this playthrough as well. It's weirdly tricky. Like, you have to time the punches and aim them well, and there we go. Like, you really do have to have a strategy in dealing with all the targets here. There's a multiplier, there's certain things that you can miss if you don't, well, you know, there's things that you can miss. I don't really know how else to describe it. If you don't go fast enough. Okay, I think I got the 9,000 points this time. Aurora says, Jeff, I'd be careful saying that we won the generation. From hardware units, sure, but from software sales, absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Normally, when I think about who won the generation, I'm normally thinking about how many units the console sold. But yeah, that's a fair point. PS3 and Xbox 360 certainly sold more software than the Wii did. The Wii was like many people's Wii Sports machine. That's a fair point. But, you know, there's still no arguing with the fact that like 101 million people bought a Wii. So that says something. But no, you're absolutely right. Okay, I gotta go ahead and catch up on some comments. I'm sorry. I think the DualSense controller rumble is so much unique than the Switch's rumble feature, but you do need to own a DualSense controller and game compatible with the controller, or get a PS5 to see what I mean, says Luke. Yeah, it kind of took the design cue from the Switch having HD rumble, but it definitely upped the ante. The one I can think of are Super Nintendo and PS4, says Chris. Yeah, I guess the Super Nintendo did win, didn't they? Didn't it? I do feel, though, that that's because Sega was, like, the new kid on the block. Though, you could say the same thing about PlayStation. There's nuances. Also, it's not Nintendo taking down the models from Steam. It's a fish turd named Ben Amzin, says Luke. I heard about that, but it sounds like Gary, or whatever the guy who's in charge of Gary's mod. I assume his name is Gary. He confirmed that it was an official DMCA directly from Nintendo. I wish they utilized the Go-Go Yoshi more, says Robert. It's an interesting little mechanic. And it's fun. For sure. GameCube was more powerful than the PS2, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Yes, the PS2 was the weakest console in that generation. But like I said, power from a console is not necessarily the indicator for if it'll win or not. In the PS2's case, I think the major things were that it was backwards compatible with the PS1, so it had an enormous catalog of games available on day one. And then it was also a DVD player, and a cheap one at that. At the time, it was hard to get an affordable DVD player. DVD players were a new technology at the time. And the fact that the PlayStation 2, which was a DVD playable device, it could read DVDs and play them on a TV for you, just like any other DVD player would. The fact that it was cheaper than many just regular DVD players at the time made it a no-brainer to buy that over DVD players, because you get to play a bunch of games too. Like, hey, we get to watch movies and our kids get to play video games. Like, that's a no-brainer. So, yeah. Nah, it's a fake Nintendo email. He's pretty much just a troll taking advantage of Gary, says Luke. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm going to feign. I'm going to claim ignorance on this matter. I'm informed of what's going on. I do not claim to have any information as to if it's a real DMCA or not, but it sounds like it is. Still, my mind could absolutely be changed. We'll just have to see. Or, you know, if they even update the situation any more than they already have. Good night, everyone, says Robert. Good night, Robert. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure to see you. Have a good week. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Just want the pink Poochie and I want to go fast. I just punched that Poochie pup in the face and like, he's just like, alright, I'll go with you. Well, how does that work? But all this, Nintendo copyright, says Luke. Yeah, like you said earlier, that's something that I feel Nintendo does need to loosen up on a bit. And in fairness, they have made some progress. They certainly have a ways to go, but they've made progress in the whole copywriting and DMCA thing over the years. Like, it used to be that if you were a Nintendo YouTuber, well, you couldn't make any money on pretty much any of your stuff, especially if you were a Let's Player, because Nintendo would claim your videos if they saw like 10 seconds of footage from their game in your video. That's just how it was. Back in the day, on my old channel when I was streaming Nintendo games, every single one of them got a copyright claim, which is different than a copyright strike. It's not as bad, but it means that I could not make any money from those YouTube videos. Not like I was eligible to do that anyway, so I didn't care. But Nintendo's loosened up on that. They've loosened up on letting you use their music. They've made some progress, but they still have some progress. They still have some progress that they need to make. Okay. Chris says, the PS2 sold over 155 million consoles because it's a cheap DVD player and also a game console. Back then it was a steal. Many people bought a Wii just to play Wii Sports and then nothing, says Chris. The PS2 lasts like forever. It lives alongside its successor PS3 and PS4. Yes, all excellent points, I agree. Obviously the PS2 is no longer being supported, but it did last a very long time, like unreally long. Heloy says, bro, that took longer than I thought. My computer is being really weird today. I'm sorry to hear that, Heloy. Tired, so good night, says Luke. Good night, Luke. Thank you for tuning in. Actually, Jim Ryan revealed the fact that the PS2 sold 160 million, says Luke. Yeah, I heard about that. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. 155 million was the last reported numbers from Sony, so if they really cared that much, they should make it official and, like, actually report the numbers. But it's not a big deal either way. No other game console that lasts over 13 years. Sega Master System Brazil doesn't count, says Chris. Aurora says, part of the reason the Super Nintendo won over the Genesis is because Sega killed off their hardware early because it did poorly in Japan, while Nintendo went well into 1996. I'm biased, though. They absolutely had the better games. Yeah, I agree with those points, for sure. There's not a lot of games on Sega consoles that I really care about. Obviously, their flagship one is Sonic, and I just played through Sonic Mania a couple weeks ago, and it was fine. I don't think Sonic is really my thing, but I did start to get in kind of a groove with it. To the point where I wasn't sucking so bad at it. Because, like, I stunk at Sonic Mania when I first played it. But I got better. I still haven't found the, all the Chaos Emeralds. I still haven't gotten all the Chaos Emeralds. So I didn't get the true end, but at this point, I don't really care to. I've kind of moved on from Sonic Mania. And, like, many people say that Sonic Mania is one of the best Sonic games. Like, second only to Sonic 2 is what I've heard some people say. Though, you know, don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. I'm not a Sonic fan. I don't know. But if that's one of the best that the game series has to offer, and I'm kind of just like, it's alright. I had some fun with it, but it wasn't really my cup of tea. I think that kind of tells you everything you need to know about my taste for Sonic. So, and that, like I said, that was Sega's primary flagship character. Not to say that they didn't have others, but not really any others that I think I'd be that interested in. The only one that I took some interest in was like Nights into Dreams or something like that, whatever it's called. That just looked cool to me. Like, I like the character design of Knights. But other stuff like Crazy Taxi, or even stuff like, what was the roller skating one called again? Jet Set Radio? Jet Set Radio. Monkey Ball, I feel like that one looks like fun. But so many of Sega's IPs don't really appeal that much to me. Golden Axe, I feel like that's another Sega IP. Look, I'm a Nintendo guy through and through. Not a Nintendo fanboy per my earlier discussion, but certainly I prefer their games over anyone else's. And they had some absolute bangers on the Super Nintendo. To this day, I struggle to think of which has the stronger library between the Switch and the Super Nintendo. I want to say Super Nintendo still rules supreme in that category. Just because not only the output of games, but the sheer quality of them. They were so good. Some of the best, even still to this day, some of the most well-regarded games in all of their series, like Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Mega Man X, Kirby Superstar. These were all games on the Super Nintendo, and many still regard them to be the best games in their series to this day. The Switch is definitely competitive with it, but I can't say for sure if it actually exceeds the Super Nintendo. I kind of don't think so. But I will say it's at least close. Okay, I should probably catch up on some comments here. What's your favorite DS game? Asks Yoshi Daffy Duck. That's a really good question. I feel like the DS had some good games, but that console was not the strongest for me. Like, I don't have a lot of attachment to a lot of those games. What's my favorite DS game? Oh my goodness, I don't know. I really liked Mario Kart DS. To this day, I think that's at least my second favorite Mario Kart game, just because of the single player content. Like, the missions were such a cool thing. I loved that edition. So Mario Kart DS is up there. I liked Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, but I don't think that was my favorite. I don't know. The DS was fun. I liked it. Ooh, Bowser's Inside Story. That one was fun. Notice that I'm not saying Yoshi's Island DS, because that is one of the few Yoshi games that, you know, I'll go back and play, and then sometime into the playthrough, it will take a while, but I will dread playing it after a certain amount of time. Just because some of that game is just completely bull. So I'm not gonna say Yoshi's Island DS. Mario 64 DS was a good one, but that one was compromised based on its control schema, which I will discuss more in depth in that stream series. I am very fortunate that that did not kill me. I don't know. I want to say Mario Kart DS. I loved Mario Kart DS. Most of the Sega Genesis games are mature games, or what they call anti-Nintendo games. Yeah, Genesis does what Nintendo don't. The whole having blood enabled in Mortal Kombat without a cheat code like in the Nintendo version. Like, Sega definitely was trying to appeal to, like, an older demographic than Nintendo was at that point, and I understand that. And it kind of makes sense, because, you know, Oh my. Okay, you know what? That works. I'll take it. I don't know. Like, it was clear even back in the 90s that, you know, not all gamers were little snot-nosed kids, right? Like, it was clear back then even. Like, the game industry was starting to mature more. And Nintendo still appealed to the kids among us, but I still think that they had some incredible games. Sega definitely pushed more arcade-style games, which I don't think have held up as well, says Aurora. No, yeah, like, arcade-style games definitely don't hold up like some of the others, for sure. Largely just because of the whole, well, I guess there's a lot of downfalls to arcade gaming. Like the endless sort of level or gameplay structure that, like, you can never truly win. There's not really a point to it other than, like, a high score chaser. Like, get further this time. Like, there's certainly an appeal to that, but, you know, to your point, that sort of thing isn't so well adored in the 21st century. Jeff, you haven't sang yet, says Heloid. No one's given me any lyrics. Uh-oh. Plus, like, if you just gave me some random lyrics, I don't know that I would know them, so... yeah, sorry. Anyway, I do have some other comments to catch up on. Does Jeff know about the Yoshi level in Sonic Lost World? Says Yoshi Daffy Duck. I do indeed. It's modeled off of Yoshi's story, yet they still call it Yoshi's Island Zone. That's really cool, though. Was that in Sonic Lost World, or was that a different one? I thought Sonic Lost World was, like, had the Zelda zone. Which maybe they're both in the same game, I don't know. In my opinion, Sony came close, with its IP, but I still prefer Nintendo games. My dad said otherwise, though. That's why I have a Nintendo console or handheld. I never had a Nintendo console or handheld before. Hot take, I prefer PSP over Nintendo DS, says Chris. I don't know if that's necessarily a hot take. You know, as I kind of indicated in my last set of statements, I'm not a huge Nintendo DS proponent either. Like, it certainly holds a special place in my heart, don't get me wrong. I'm super nostalgic for it. It was like the first video game console I saved up money to buy. Like, I saved up $100 towards it, and my mom paid for the rest. But looking back at it, the lineup wasn't super strong. In my opinion, like, there were a ton of games. But, like, Nintendo was going through that kind of experimental phase with the touchscreens that I felt, kind of made some of their games suffer. Case in point, the Legend of Zelda games on the DS were kind of butt. The only Metroid game on the DS, or the only two Metroid games on the DS were more or less spin-offs. Metroid Prime Hunters, I guess you could consider a mainline game, but I don't know that many people would. I don't know that many people cared. Yet another one I'd like to try at some point. I've played a vanishingly small amount of it. But yeah, I don't know, like, in retrospect, the DS wasn't as strong as I probably thought it was back in the day. Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis needs a cheat code. Without the cheat code, the sensors are worse than the Super Nintendo version. Really? I had heard otherwise. Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain! I can't hear you! Aye, aye, Captain! Oh! Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants! Absorbent and yellow and buoyant is he. Porous is he. SpongeBob SquarePants! If nautical nonsense be something you wish, then drop on the deck and flop like a fish. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. There you go. Thank you, Heloy. I missed 2 red coins somewhere, and I don't know where. Is it worth it to go back and look? Or should I just come back when I'm doing the souvenir levels? Yeah, I'll come back when I'm doing the souvenirs. Like, I don't want to waste too much time here. Epic singing, says Heloy. Thank you. I feel like my voice is a little more tired tonight than normal, because I have been talking a whole bunch. I hope you guys don't mind that. You should drink water, by the way. You're so right. I should. Dang it. I forgot. I forgot about that very important little factor. Okay, well, I'm going back now. That was terrible. I can rectify this. I can. Now it's not a waste of time. I am missing full health. Paper car or paper truck, says Rito Chang. Welcome to the stream, Rito Chang. I'm afraid I don't really understand the answer, or the question. Of course I don't understand the answer if I don't understand the question. But welcome to the stream. Welcome to part 1 of the 5-year anniversary stream of Yoshi's Crafted World. How are you doing? Are there any eggs in the level? I know that there were some. Where are they? Where are they? I'm really missing some stuff, though. Okay, there we go. There's the egg box. There's the egg crate. I'm pretty much at the beginning of the level now. I may as well just go back and look. I must find them. I must. No, I made you die, says Heloy. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine, I forgive it. I forgive you. We can use that, that trick I've talked about before. To get some, red eggs and receive some health. There. Huh? Okay, well that didn't work. The 3DS doesn't have a super strong lineup, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. I still think it was stronger than the, I still think it was stronger than the, DS lineup. That might be a hot take, but I definitely think that the 3DS had a stronger lineup. Maybe not in terms of, like, pure quantity of games, but in terms of quality of games, I think that it was better. I don't know, is that a hot take? It might be. I don't know. Well, now I'm back at the beginning of the level. I don't know if this was the right move. Just gotta be on the lookout now. By the way, this whole, like, blue egg mechanic... Well, that went well. This whole blue egg mechanic, where, like, I throw the egg and I get, like, 3 eggs if I hit an enemy with it. Oops. It's not brand new or anything. It's not new to Yoshi's Crafted World. It was first introduced in Yoshi's New Island. But it's still pretty neat. This is the first time, though, that you can get these blue eggs by ricocheting the eggs a multitude of times. You couldn't do that in Yoshi's Yoshi's New Island. You kind of just got them randomly from the egg crates and stuff like that. Oh wait, no, I got that. Dang it! What did I miss? Do you have a modded 3DS with 8-Shop in it? Yes, I do, Chris. Yes, I do. I'm very happy to have that. I haven't really used it much. I did download Donkey Kong Country Returns on it. But, you know, haven't really played it at all. I think when modding a console, especially at my stage in life, it's more just for the fun of it than it is for the actual functionality. Certainly I take advantage of the modded nature of my video game consoles, my Wii U especially. But, I don't know. Considering I don't really have time to play video games all that much anymore, live streams notwithstanding, yeah, it's not that huge of a factor. Gee, now I want a new 3DS right now. This is Chris. Yeah, a new 3DS, a hacked new 3DS is certainly a good 3DS. I decided to go the route of modding my old 3DS, my special edition Yoshi 3DS, and not my new 3DS. That was probably a dumb move on my part. I kind of just figured I could do it all again on the new 3DS if I really wanted to. But still, it's a good system to mod. I want to know how bad Paper Mario Sticker Star. How bad is it? I think the badness of it is a little overblown. I certainly enjoyed it when I played it, but it is absolutely the worst Paper Mario game. I don't think it's, you know, dog crap awful. I just think that it's not very good. But if you picked it up and played it, I think you would have fun with it. Where did I miss 2 red coins? I think I am gonna have to play the level again. Unless I'm missing it somewhere dumb. I don't think that I am, though. Because, like, this only goes down so far. Yeah. So it's not down there. The only bad Mario game I played is Mario Pinball Land, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. I never played it. Is it bad? I have no idea. The only Nintendo-centric pinball game oh, yep, there it is. The only Nintendo-centric pinball game I've played at all is Metroid Pinball, or Metroid Prime Pinball. And that was kind of fun, I guess. Like, I'm not a huge pinball guy, except for, like, Windows XP Pinball. That was my jam. I love Windows XP Pinball. Anybody play that? Or am I too old? That's absolutely my jam. Calling it bad is an understatement. I already played it, and yeah, it's kind of bad, says Chris. I mean, I enjoyed it. Maybe I'm just a weirdo. Okay, we're almost 2 hours in, but I want to get a little bit further before I go ahead and go back and do the souvenir hunting things. Okay, let's move on. I'm surprised Yoshi never got a pinball game on GBA or DS, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Yeah, you would think that Yoshi would be a good candidate for a pinball game, given the fact that, well, there are round objects that are associated with Yoshi pretty strongly. Obviously, that being the Yoshi eggs. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, I'm almost to the boss. I'm just gonna go ahead and play up to the boss. Jeff, you missed my comment, says Aurora. I'm sorry. I don't usually do that. Same game. The Zelda games on the DS, even outside of the touch controls, didn't even hold up to Minish Cap. Dungeons lost individual rooms and just became one big room per floor and lost all the decor. That's really unfortunate. I never played either of those games, and I've never had any desire to. Not even a little smidgen of a desire to play Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks. Not even, like, out of morbid curiosity. I just do not care about them. I like the concept, but I hate when I already got the key, but I failed to go to the next area, and the door closes itself, and I need to find the key again, says Chris. You know, it's been so long since I played Sticker Star that I honestly can't remember any of that. All that I remember about Yoshi's... All that I remember of, all that I remember of Sticker Star is, like, the generalities of how the game works. I don't remember the minutia. The multiplayer was the most fun I had, lol, says Aurora. Multiplayer in a Zelda game. When that's the best part, you know you screwed up. Oh dear. There have been... Well, you know what? I can't say that, because there's 4 Swords. Like, the 4 Swords games. The whole point of those is the whole point of those games is the is the multiplayer, which I think is very odd for a Zelda game, but I don't know. Just let me know what you think. I never played those. I didn't have any Nintendo fans or Nintendo friends. Well, I had one. I had one person that I played DS with and Wii with. But most of my friends were Sony focused. I can't blame them. Several of their first consoles were PlayStation 2. So, you know, obviously they're going to gravitate more towards the Sony side. Okay, where are you, Poochie? Where are you, Poochie Pup? I hear him. There he is. Give me the bomb. What's the time limit for this one? 3 minutes, probably? 3.5? I don't know, let's find out. Four Swords Adventures on the GameCube is quite underrated in my humble opinion, and 99% of my playtime was in single player, says Aurora. Really? I didn't even know that was a thing. Uh-oh. I need a bomb. I didn't even know single player in, well, Four Swords was actually a thing. I guess I've missed out. Okay. Let's hope that I got the, or I satisfied the time requirement here. I mean Mario Pinball Land, not Sticker Star. I haven't played it yet. Oh, okay. Thanks for the clarification, Chris. Mario 64 Bowser is too cute to be threatening, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. He is. He's like an adorable pillow. 3.5 minutes. Okay, I had no worries there. I talked about Mario Pinball Land about the key things, says Chris. Gotcha. Gotcha. I don't have any experience with Mario Pinball Land. Not even a little. Alright, I have 2 more levels, and then I will be fighting the boss, and then I'll go back and collect some souvenirs. Oh boy. I can already tell that the souvenirs are going to take up a very large portion of the stream series. Because the game itself, it's like a 12-hour game. Like, well, about that. I actually gave that value in my comparison between Woolly World and Crafted World. I said that Yoshi's Woolly World was about 15 hours. And then Yoshi's Crafted World, I did all the normal stuff in like 12 hours. But it took me 24 hours to 100% complete the game. And, you know, the main chunk of that came from the additional stuff from like the souvenirs and whatnot. So that's going to take up at least a third, maybe a half of my stream series. So look forward to that. I wish they streamlined the whole process of souvenir hunting. I really wish that. Yeah, if you can get past that, it's level-based, so the items you get only apply to the current level. It's actually good. Just takes different expectations, says Aurora. Okay. That kind of makes me think of the Zelda Four Swords game that was on the 3DS as part of, like, a Zelda 20th anniversary or something. I forget what it was, 20th, 25th? I don't remember what it was. But there was, like, a special 3DS download game for, or in the style of Four Swords. Was it kind of like that? I did play that. Probably even still have it on my 3DS. That was kind of nifty. I remember playing that with some friends on my way to volleyball games in high school. Man, that feels so long ago. It's because it was, Jeff. You graduated high school in 2012. Oh man, I'm an old fart. That's okay though. I'd like to think that I'm like a fine wine. I get better with age. That's what all of us old people say to make ourselves feel better. Did I miss something? I think I missed the first piece of the track. Wherever that is. I will find it. I will find it. You can't stop me. So apparently I missed the first one. Oh, it's over here, isn't it? That one was a remake of the GBA Four Swords. I would say the GameCube game is more complex, but same idea, I suppose. Wasn't there something with the GameCube version, or the GameCube one, where you had to like link your GBA up to it? Through some like, I don't know. I don't really know how all that works. And if that's, like if you need the GBA to play on the GameCube to give yourself like a second screen. I feel like that's what I heard before, like if you go into underground areas, the screen goes to the GBA. Or is that just not how it works? I have no idea. Aside from that 3DS version of the GBA Four Swords game, I haven't really played Four Swords at all. I gotta focus for this part. And all the good that's doing me here. I missed a couple coins. I'd wager that those probably are red coins. I mean, I'll keep going, and if I happen to miss 2 red coins, I'll know where they are. Okay. This actually ramped up in difficulty, more than I think they were expecting it to. More just from the completion standpoint again, though. Like, if you're just playing through the game willy-nilly, not completing anything. Yeah, no, it's still not hard at all. Oh boy. I had to say something! Eep! Ah! No! Dang it. Yikes. Yeah, I definitely missed some stuff. There's a red coin there. Yeah, that was the 2 red coins I missed. I'll do the level again. It's fine. Nope, you don't need a GBA for the GameCube one. You can use it, but not required except for multiplayer, says Aurora. Interesting. Man, I really want to try that game. It sounds super interesting. What's your favorite Yoshi sound, says Chris. Oh, that's a good question. I never really thought about it. I kind of just like all of them. I know that's a bit of a cop-out. This is a mining area. Well, alright. I'm gonna replay the level. I know that I said that I wouldn't, but I'm going to. What's my favorite Yoshi sound? I really don't know. I just like all of them. How would you react if more recent Yoshi games included Yoshi's Cookie as a bonus, like the advanced games for Mario Bros? I think that would be neat. I don't know if that would, like, sell me on any games more than just being a Yoshi game already would. But I think that'd be a neat little addition. Give it, like, local or online multiplayer, and that would be sick. Also, I noticed that this level in particular felt quite short. Is that just the case for all these? I feel like the Yoshi's Crafted World levels are a decent length. Like, I didn't have any problems with the length of these levels. Where's Yoshi Safari 2, says Aurora. That's the real question. My favorite is Yoshi. You know what? He had some really cute sounds in Mario Bros. Wonder. So, I don't know. If I had to pick a game where Yoshi... If I had to pick a game where Yoshi had my favorite sounds, in honesty, it might just be Mario Wonder. I really liked them, those sounds. How would you react? Oh, sorry, I already read that. My bad. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing a few more Yoshi spin-off games. I feel like Yoshi needs a little bit more and better representation in the video game industry. Like, yeah, his main thing is kind of that he's just a Mario side character. I get that. I feel like his main games need some work. They need some improving. And I think that they have a lot of potential in terms of, you know, mainstream market appeal. Simply just from being a Mario adjacent series, but also just because the concept of it is actually pretty great. And, you know, if you don't believe that these can have good mainstream appeal, look at Yoshi's Island. I don't think I need to say anything more on that. My favorite sound, my favorite Yoshi sound is Me Elmo, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Is that your interpretation of Yoshi saying in Yoshi's story? Me Elmo. Nintendo turned Yoshi into baby mode character, says Chris. Yeah, I think that's a crime. Certainly he is very appealing to a younger demographic. And sure, they should be able to cater the games in some way to that demographic. But you know, the same thing can be said about Kirby. And in Kirby, there's actually a hard mode most of the time. Not an easy mode. Like, the base game is easy mode enough already. I feel like Yoshi should be the same way. Or even, like, have their cake and eat it too, you know? Like, have the option for mellow mode. I think that mellow mode is a good thing overall to have as an option. But I think that the base game should be harder to kind of make up for the fact that mellow mode exists. Instead, the Yoshi games have gotten easier over the years. Like, I felt like Yoshi's Island had the perfect difficulty. And then Yoshi's story kind of messed it up, but there still was an element of difficulty there if you wanted to 100% complete it. Yoshi's Island DS, sorry, I should probably go in order, yeah? Yoshi Topsy-Turvy, that game was something, huh? Yoshi's Island DS, that was the hardest Yoshi's Island, or Yoshi game that there's been so far. Yoshi's New Island, Yoshi's New Island felt more difficult than some of the newer ones, just from the standpoint of, you know, early levels were very easy, but the S levels were pretty hard, and the sixth world was quite hard. Then Yoshi's Woolly World, it's pretty solid, but overall fairly easy, especially compared to Yoshi's Island DS, but even Yoshi's Island. And Yoshi's Crafted World, I've often said, is the easiest game in the Yoshi series. And it has a mellow mode. That's my main complaint. But I feel like if they upped the difficulty, even just some, like if they brought the base level back up to Yoshi's Island, but still kept mellow mode, I honestly think that that would go a long way in being more mainstream appealing. Yoshi really is seen as like the baby mode, baby game series of Nintendo, and I hate that. It should not be that way. Like, again, I point to Yoshi's Island as an example. Like, it's still like the same gameplay concepts. All the Yoshi games strive to be Yoshi's Island, but with something extra, pretty much. Except for like Yoshi's Story and Yoshi Topsy-Turvy, those are exceptions. The other games very much strive to be like Yoshi's Island. But all of them fall short in some way. And, you know, Yoshi's Island is still regarded, like, it's still in the top 100 video games of all time lists of you know, I would argue as like most people who have a good amount of experience in video games, like, Yoshi's Island is extremely well regarded. People who don't even like the Yoshi games like Yoshi's Island. I don't know if anybody is familiar here. Well, you know what? I'm gonna stick to that. I don't know who's all familiar with the Nintendo podcasts, or you know, Bob Wolf from Wolf Den, or Wood from Beat 'em Ups. But they were like, they ranked the Nintendo games in a tier list for one of their episodes, and you know, they brought up Yoshi. Like, their crew brought up Yoshi, and they're like, we already talked about Yoshi's Island, and then like, it's part of the Super Mario games, and they were like, it's really good. And then their crew was like, no, there's other Yoshi games, and Wood was like, no, there's not. And then like, they started talking about it more, and he's like, I don't see, who cares, they're baby games, they're stupid easy. Like, Yoshi's Island is well regarded, the rest of them are not, and I think they all, like the formula has the potential to be that mainstream appealing, and it's a crime that they're not. And I think that the series absolutely still has the potential to be that mainstream appealing again. It's not like the formula's gone away, they've just expanded on it over the years in some bad ways, and they've made some bad choices. Like, yeah. You got me going on that rant again. I want to see Yoshi be that sort of character that, like, you know, anybody will walk into the store and think, ooh, that looks like fun, I'll play that, instead of, like, you know, a dad walking into the store and saying, like, oh, my 4-year-old son Timmy, would love this game, it's made exactly for him. I don't want to see that anymore. Like, young kids can enjoy more difficult games given a proper set of tools. One of JJ's favorite games is Super Mario Bros. Wonder. He loves that game. And he got far in it, well, with my help, obviously, but also because of the fact that Yoshi is in the game as an easy mode character, which I don't like that it's relegated to Yoshi, obviously. You've probably seen my thoughts on it. But that tool gave JJ the ability to beat a game like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which isn't a very difficult Mario game, but certainly for his age it is. But he gravitates to that game more than even the Yoshi games. He likes the Yoshi games, but he'll definitely choose the Mario games over them. I don't know where I'm really going with this, but I've done this rant a few times. I think you get it. Yoshi's Island was harder than the Mario games. Now, not so much, says Aurora. Yeah. Yeah. Jeff, I shall be back in around 10 minutes, says Heli. Okay, I will be here. Every Yoshi game just coasts on the legacy of Yoshi's Island, says Aurora. Yeah, I feel like that's a really good way of saying it, Aurora. It's not so much that they iterate and improve on the Yoshi's Island formula. They're all a derivative of it in some way. They all lack something that Yoshi's Island had. And I think a lot of that is just they learned the wrong lessons from the game. Like, we've talked about this before, the fact that, you know, the Yoshi games decided to go, like hardcore into... Okay, real quick before I continue this rant, I want to show you guys that you don't even really need to use the magnets for most of this level. There's some very much, you know, mandatory parts where you need to use a magnet for, but that's like the main gimmick of this level, and in 80% of instances at least, you can use an egg jump just to get past it. Not here, because you do need to use the magnet to lower that gate. But most of these areas where, like, it's clear that you're supposed to use the magnets to, like jump on the cans and all that. Like, I can easily circumnavigate these with the egg jump, and I love that. Another element there in, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a difficult game. The floor or the ceiling, the skill floor can be quite low, but if you give the player enough tools to make, or if you give the player enough tools to try some interesting, cool maneuvers, and, like, play the game their own way, get around some of the challenges, like circumnavigate these things, feel like they're breaking the game, it doesn't matter that this game is stupidly easy. It's cool that they have this as a mechanic. Again, I don't even want to use that. I don't need it. I don't need that magnet. I don't need it. What are you giving me a magnet for? You never even get a game over. Now that's how easy it is, says Chris. Agreed. You know, up until, in fairness, I didn't even know what the game over screen in Yoshi's Island looked like until I played a super difficult ROM hack. Also, I do need that magnet. This is one of those instances I actually do need the magnet. Also, is it just me, or does anybody else catch themselves saying magnet? It's not magnet, it's magnet. But does anybody else say magnet sometimes? Like, if you look at the word magnet, there's not a second N in the word. It's a lot like mischievous. Most people will say mischievous. That's not how it's spelled. It's spelled mischievous. I feel like magnet is another one of those words. Or is it just me? If it's just me, that's perfectly fine. I'm willing to be the dumb one here. I think that's just you, says Aurora. Okay. Like I said, I am willing to be the dumb one. Oh yeah, I don't need that one. Get out of here. I don't need it. I love the egg jump. If that isn't already clear, I love it. Again, it's one of those tool sets where you can do some really cool stuff with it. And it doesn't really necessarily matter that the game is super easy. It's just fun to do. And I said that I would like to see it be a mainstay in all the Yoshi games going forward. And then, like, I immediately went and made a video on what I think a 3D Yoshi game would be like. And it's like, that wouldn't work so well in a 3D context. So, probably not every Yoshi game going forward. But, you know, the 2D ones at least, I would love to see these egg jumps still being a thing. GBA's Super Mario World slightly easier than the Super Nintendo original, due to the fact that when you get hit in a power-up, you revert back to Small Mario and SNES. It was fixed in the GBA version. I don't know that I would call that fixed. More brought to modern standards, I guess. And even then, like... Even then, I hesitate to say that. I feel like that whole mechanic of, you know, oh, you do need the magnets here. I feel like Nintendo was very inconsistent with how they handled health in the Mario games, up until like the new Super Mario Bros. Series. Like there, they standardized it to be more. Oh, I don't need these. I don't need them. I don't even want them. I feel pretty comfortable saying that I don't need them this time. Okay, give me that coin, you little mouse. Okay, there we go. Technically, that's been a thing since Super Mario Bros. 3, but only the US version. I didn't know that that was like... I didn't know that that was like region specific. Oh, I do need that magnet. What? Every time that I'm like, I don't need that magnet, I run into something like that. Where it's literally gated off unless you use the magnet. There I go again, magnet. Why? It's an everlasting curse. I is back now. Welcome back, Heloy. Yeah, no, like in Super Mario Bros. 1. In Super Mario Bros. 1, if you took damage even in Fire Mario form, you would go back to Small Mario, but it didn't work in reverse. Like if you were Small Mario but found a Fire Flower, you would turn into Fire Mario. You would just turn into Super Mario, which was just Mario with the mushroom. Super Mario Bros. 2, you know. If you know, you know. And then Super Mario Bros. 3. I feel like it did like... It did something weird. It was like, if you got hit, as like Tanuki Mario, for example, or let's just stay with the consistent example of Fire Mario. If you got hit as Fire Mario, you would go back to Super Mario. Uh-oh. I missed 4 red coins. Ha. And I don't think that this is worth, like, going back and finding it. At this point. That doesn't give you red coins. Okay. Oh, I screwed that up. Yeah, I can't even get back. So, Super Mario Bros. 3. If you got hit as Fire Mario, you would go back to Super Mario instead of Small Mario. But as Small Mario, if you got like a Fire Flower, you would just go to Super Mario. It was like 1-step increments both ways. Super Mario World, it was 1-step increments both ways. If you got hit as Fire Mario, you would go down to Small Mario. But if you got the Fire Flower as Small Mario, you would go to Fire Mario. They didn't really standardize the 1-step approach, or the 1 step down, 2 steps up approach until New Super Mario Bros. And that has been the standard ever since. I think it doesn't make sense to change it in the GBA version since it already gave you 2 hits. But with the box, that's like 4 hits? Yeah. I always thought Yoshi said yummy instead of Yoshi as a kid. Interesting. There's a very clear S in that word. You know what? I am going to stick to my guns here and not do the and not go back for the red coins right now. I'll do that later. When I'm souvenir hunting. It just makes more sense. So, we're already 2 hours and 20 minutes into the stream, and I haven't even gotten to do too many souvenirs. But I'm almost to the boss fight, so... We'll go ahead and, do the flip side with the Poochie Pups, go fight the boss, and for the last half hour of the stream, half hour or an hour, depending on how long I actually want to go, we'll go ahead and do some souvenirs. Oh, the souvenirs. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. Though, if you've seen my video, or have been listening for the past, like, 2 hours of the live stream, yeah, you already know that. Whee! Okay, I had, like, no hope in, like, egg jumping all the way back up here. Yo, is that where the red coins were? Probably. Doesn't matter, I'll get them next time. Probably, maybe. Hopefully. Alright, listen for the Poochie Pop. I doubt he's up here. Maybe he is. Let's... Where is he? I will find you. Maybe he is up there. I can't imagine that they would... I didn't see any magnets. He's up here. What are you doing up here, little guy? Maybe there were magnets and I just missed them. Because I haven't really been looking for them. Yeah! Are you sure about the Fire Flower thing in Mario Bros. 3? Pretty sure it only works the way you described in Mario 1 and 2. Getting hit by, like, getting hit as Fire Mario makes you go all the way down to, Small Mario? I don't know. I feel like I remember it being one hit both ways. Maybe that's just the All-Stars version. I primarily played the All-Stars version and, I primarily played the All-Stars version and the Game Boy Advance version growing up, so I could absolutely be wrong. We could test this theory after I get done with 3 hours or 3.5 hours of Yoshi's Crafted World gameplay. We can absolutely load up. We can absolutely load up Mario Bros. 3 in the NSO app. Or you could do it now, or whenever. It doesn't matter. It might be more fun for me to do it on stream, though. Yeah. I don't think there's a Poochie Pup down there. I would have heard barking. I hear barking now. Well, that was not what I meant to do. I feel like I missed him. Oh, there you are. I see you. Give me the magnet. I'm like consciously making sure that I say magnet at this point. Okay, now let's get to the finish line. Gonna make it to the finish line every day. Gonna make it to the finish line. Heroes never die. Gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive, even if we crawl to the finish line. I don't believe it, underdog dreaming, don't need no cheers. World's gonna see it. Heroes never die. Gonna make it to the finish line. I actually got there in plenty of time. I thought I was going slow because I didn't really know where all the Poochie Pups were. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm wiped out. If only I had 15 smiley flowers. Yeah, like I said earlier, it's kind of a paltry amount. It really does not halt a completionist progress at all. Even a kid, I don't feel like, would miss this many flowers. Now I'm feeling super swell. Let me just get out of your way. Hup! Okay. Metal Mario is cooler than Gold Mario, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Yeah, is Gold Mario a thing outside of... Oh wait, yeah, he is. He is a thing in New Super Mario Bros. 2. Thank you so much for your help. Say, how'd you find your way out here? Is that the giant robot Theet? Says Blue's Cat. That's pretty great. No, this isn't one of the Blockefeller robots. On the hunt for gems, are we? I saw an odd fellow in blue robes soaring above. Maybe headed toward a graduation? I never caught that. Whatever the case, I got the sense he's up to no good, so best be careful. He might be handing out diplomas. It's probably wise to keep your gem mission under your shell. In-game confirmation that that is, indeed, a shell. Unless it's just a figure of speech. But they have confirmed that that's a shell for Yoshi, not a saddle. Can you tell the difference between New Super Mario Bros. Wii and Wii U, Jeff? Says Chris. If you down-res Mario Bros. U down to 480p or upscaled Mario Bros. Wii to 1080, I don't know that I would. I don't know that I would. They're pretty much identical. In terms of, like, art style, obviously. Like, there's differences in gameplay. I should be more specific and say power-ups. These little cutscenes are fun. Also, I've been Purple Yoshi this whole time. I haven't even thought about it. Like, I've just been playing Yoshi's Crafted World and enjoying myself. I've had a lot of rants. Obviously, when I'm playing a Yoshi game, I'm thinking about Yoshi, and I feel very strongly about some things in Yoshi. So, sorry about that. You can by looking at, just looking at the HUD, Mario face looks different, says Chris. Interesting. I didn't even realize that.
Did one of those gems really wind up around here? Pretty sure it was in this area. Aw, shoot, you again. Blech. Arg, how did he catch up so quickly? Wait a tick. Could he have already found some gems?
Nope. That's the only difference, is Chris. Oh.
He hasn't even found one. He's completely clueless. Get rid of him now so we can keep looking without him in the way.
You know, I should make a point to, I should have made a point to, give a different answer than I did in my last live stream series. I'm pretty sure I said, no, I didn't find a gem last time as well.
Understood, your shortness. Allow me. I'm gonna make bird feet out of you, bub.
All new Mario Bros. Games look like HD DS games in animations and style, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Yeah, fair observation for sure. Like when I up-resed the DS version to like 960p or whatever I up-resed it to, like it kind of did look like Mario Bros. Wii, you know? Oh, you. Okay, real quick thing on the bosses. Like Princess Peach Showtime, there is not really any real need to get through this boss battle unscathed. There's no reward for it. Your main objective is to just beat the boss to get through to the next area. I don't even think that you get a smiley flower for beating the boss. Well, obviously you get a reward for beating the boss. It's the gem, like the main objective in the game. So yeah, of course you get rewarded for beating the boss, but like getting through unscathed and all that sort of thing, like no, there's no reward for it. Though at the same time, I appreciate the fact that this isn't at the end of a level. So, like, I don't have to get through unscathed in order to 100% complete the level. I appreciate that change. And just like Princess Peach Showtime, there are some post-game boss challenges in which you have to beat the boss with certain criteria. What it boils down to is beating the boss with full health, which isn't necessarily not taking damage. I believe the boss gives you more health than you need to get to full health. Beating the boss in a certain amount of time, and then a boss-specific criteria. In this case, it's hit the boss with the magnet while his face is red, so basically while he's flying overhead. Those are the boss challenge criteria for him, but that's the same concept for every other boss in the game. But that doesn't unlock until the post game, so for now there is no need to do perfectly on these boss fights. Yeah, the only difference to tell them apart is the HUD, lol, says Chris.
Oh, you're one tough cookie, aren't you? Well, this is far from over.
Hey guys, why don't we switch to a different color Yoshi? He's like, no! Why don't we switch to a different color Yoshi, for the remainder of the stream, just to find the, souvenirs. What color Yoshi would you guys like? There we go. Sunstone gem number 1.
Complete.
Classic green, the big Yoshi. Dark blue Yoshi. Anybody else have some input? I forget who asked what my favorite Yoshi sound was, but that one's up there. Menu. Choose a Yosh. So far we've got classic green and dark blue Yosh. Orange? This is Aurora. You know, I feel like this being the end of, or near the end of the stream, I'm not gonna get to play as this Yoshi very long. So it may as well be a Yoshi I'm not gonna play much of. Orange definitely fits in that category. Not that I don't like orange Yoshi, but, you know, I prefer the cool colors like green, blue, purple, light blue. Okay. Let's go back to the rail yard run, because we have some souvenirs to find in here. You're Yoshi, right? I heard about you from my little brother Finn. I'm Cole. Say, could you help me find some souvenirs here in Sunshine Station? I don't wanna. Let's see here. I'd love some cows. I think 5 should do the trick. Okay, here we go. The rest of the stream is going to be dedicated to collecting costumes and souvenirs. Orange isn't a cool color, huh? I see how it is. Says Aurora. No, like, I mean, cool versus warm colors. Orange is a warm color, like red and yellow. But I get the joke. In fairness, orange Yoshi is a very pleasant color. I am kind of sad that he replaced brown Yoshi. Like, didn't we only ever see brown Yoshi in Yoshi's Island? And Yoshi's Woolly World, of course. Like, not just straight up brown Yoshi. It had to be like Coco Yoshi. I do feel bad that brown Yoshi got the axe in favor of orange Yoshi. Orange is Jeff's least favorite color, says Chris. That's not true. If we're going, like, based on basic colors, probably yellow is my least favorite. Yeah, I'm gonna be extra like that. I'm not gonna use that ramp that you're gonna give me. I don't need it. I don't want it. And then cow. My goodness. I did it! I got the souvenirs. Let's exit the course. We don't need to be here anymore. That is something that's nice, is that unlike Princess Peach Showtime, where you have to go through the levels again and find the like little ninja guys, you can't quit out in Princess Peach Showtime once you found all of them. Like, you have to finish the level. What do you want now? A clothesline, please. Okay. Unlike in Princess Peach Showtime, you can quit out once you found all the souvenirs and just, you know, complete the objective. You don't have to beat the level, which is like, thank God. That makes a huge difference. So I assume Michelangelo's bandana is Jeff's least favorite bandana color. Says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Probably. It's close between Raph and Mikey. Yeah, I'm not as big of a fan of the warm colors. I'm definitely a cool color guy. Part of it is I think like my complexion is mostly complemented by cooler colors, not warm colors like red and orange and all that. But also I just have a preference towards cooler colors for whatever reason, I don't know. Also, going back through and getting these souvenirs is a pretty good opportunity to go back and get some coins. Because you need a lot of coins to get the, you need a lot of coins to get all the costumes in the game. Not like I want to, mind you, but it is part of the 100% completion aspect of the game. I don't think you get rewarded for it, per se. But it's a checklist item that I do want to check off my list. Where is that clothesline? I must find it. I feel like it must be here in the, like, houses section. Of course, I could be wrong. Have I missed it? I might have gone too far. Yeah, it is a front side level. This is a front side objective. Oh, there it is. Found it. Devious. Devious, I tell you. See, these do go pretty fast. Like I said, because you don't have to beat the whole level. But, on the flip side, there are some truly BS locations for these items. I'd love a paper airplane, please. Okay, I know exactly where that is. It's on the flip side. There are some BS locations, especially in like the snowy levels. There's one in particular I'm thinking of. I forget what exactly it is that you're looking for, but one of them out of like the 5 is hidden like under a cup that you would never even think to hit. And then like you do it on a whim and all of a sudden there's the last thing you're looking for. So there are some of these get quite tough. And borderline unfair in some cases, so, you know, keep an eye out for that, I guess. Okay. And that will definitely contribute to being, like, a fairly lengthy, playthrough. I made 10 thumbnails for this series, and I don't anticipate that I'll need all 10. I don't think that this will be a 10-parter. But I do think that this will be at least 7 or 8 parts. Like, when I played the game the first time on Livestream, it was a 7-parter. Granted, some of those were shorter streams, like 2 hours instead of 3, but I didn't do all the side stuff on Livestream. So, yeah, this is going to be a long series. Like I said, it's about a 24-hour game. That's about 8 live streams. Bottles of milk, you'll find them on the flip side. But I've also said before that these games tend to take, you know, like 30% longer in a live stream series of it. So that could easily be a 30-hour playthrough. I'm gonna say that I went to the front side. For better or for worse, I still think Goodfield's best game is Wario Land Shake It, says Aurora. I want to try that game sometime. I did cite it earlier as being like an art style that I would like to see Yoshi take. Primarily because it's an art style that Goodfield's already got experience with. So, yeah. Like, their other Unreal Engine outing in Princess Peach Showtime looked very pleasant, but obviously struggled in terms of actual performance. And Unreal Engine, I feel like there's something off about Unreal Engine to me. I don't know what it is. But, like, you ever see, like, the fan remakes of, or even just like the fan sections, like remakes of sections of games made by fans, like Ocarina of Time, where like everything looks extremely polished and very shiny and just like super resolution, high quality models and everything. Like, obviously it looks great, but there's something off about Unreal Engine to me in terms of like how most of the projects end up looking. Like, it's a kind of an unnatural luster in a way, I think, is my problem with it. I don't know for sure. There's something off about it. Again, this could be very much just like a just me thing. I guess let me know if you guys have any idea what I'm talking about. The coins in this game kind of seem that way, like they're very, very shiny, almost unnaturally so. But with coins, I guess it kind of makes sense, since you really just want to pick them up. Okay, I missed one of the milk jug things, the milk bottles. Gotta go find it. It's probably somewhere simple that I missed it. It can't be anything too complex. But Yoshi was not amused. Guess what what that line came from? It's a GBA. It's Yoshi Topsy-Turvy. At the very end, it's the end credits where, you know, they're throwing a big party for Yoshi, but he's not amused because they have not yet turned his island back from being a storybook into being real again. That's where that quote comes from. I think what's throwing you off is the lighting and how it interacts with material, says Aurora. I think you're exactly right. I mean, the shininess of the coins, that would check out. And kind of the hair, too. Like, even in Unreal, in, like, the cutscenes in Princess Peach Showtime, like, Princess Peach's hair kind of looked a little, like, I don't want to say discolored, like, it looked too golden and shiny. I'm fresh out of requests for you. Hooray! That's music to my ears. It's like in-game it looked fine, but in like the first cutscene it looked weird. Probably just because of how the light was shining on it. I don't know. Like, Unreal Engine looks great, but, you know, sometimes it's not my favorite looking. All that is to say, I have more confidence in like a hand-drawn art style as an alternative for Yoshi than I do like a Kirby game, for example. Just because of Goodfield's track record with the hand-drawn art style. Obviously, like their main thing that they're known for is like the handcrafted art style. It's not the only thing that they've done. Like, they've done other art styles, like the kind of generic looking one in Monkey Barrel, or like, you know, what I've already been talking about in Wario Land, Shake It, and Princess Peach Showtime. That Japanese only game that was like Otogi no, something or other. I forget what it was called. Like, they have experience with different art styles, but I think the one they're most well known for, even though it wasn't their first one, is the crafted art style in Kirby's Epic Yarn, Yoshi's Woolly World, and Yoshi's Crafted World. I think that's what Goodfield is mostly well known for. Definitely Kirby's Epic Yarn is what put them on the map. But yeah, it's not like they can't do other things. And I would really like to see something different for Yoshi. I definitely have some ideas for a future Yoshi game, and I say this a lot. I have those ideas and I want to share them in a future video. But that's going to be a while, because I really need to get this Yoshi's New Island retrospective done first. I need to stop putting it off. That's what I need to stop doing. I need to work on it. I haven't worked on it in like a month. And I really want to get back to it. My main distractions have been playing Tomb Raider with Sky and watching One Punch Man with Sky. But we finished One Punch Man this week. And we're like halfway through Tomb Raider 3. So, yeah, I will definitely get back to it. I'd love a pirate ship, please. Pretty sure this one can only be seen from the flip side of the port. Okie doke. Flip side of the port, here we come. You know, I think you can see why I didn't want to do these on live stream back in the day. It's not all that entertaining, I don't think. But for completion's sake, I do want to show all of it in this stream series. I want to show all of it. That's not the ship, is it? Nope. I was like, it can't be that easy. Don't make it that easy on me, game. I mean, I'll end up just throwing, oh man. The ship had like a unique look to it. What does it look like? Red stripes on the sails. Okay. Do those not have red stripes on the sails? They have Shy Guys on the sails. Okay, now I feel like it's later in the level. It's not that ship. Eep. Is that it? Nope. You know, there's not really a reason for me to just not throw stuff at the ships at this point. Because, like, I have the Poochie Pup. And the Poochie Pup essentially acts as infinite ammo. So, there it is. That's it. Oop. Boink. Boinkity. Exit course. Oh, there were Shy Guy skulls on that. It's just, it was red sails instead of black. Did I say Shy Guy skulls? I meant masks. They're not skulls, they're masks. I found you a pirate ship. A whole pirate ship I got for you. I've got another request. I was gonna have a lot of requests. Explore every angle to spot the squid on the flip side. Think it's this level here? Yes, it is. Makes sense. The sea critters are gonna be in this level, and like the regular like seaside port stuff, or that stuff's gonna be in the other level. Oh boy. I'll try to finish up the I'll try to finish off the souvenirs for this world, but I think that ouch. I think that the other levels are gonna have to wait until some other time. Yeah, like next time. Yay! What'd I do? Hit a bunch of guys with a Koopa shell, I think. Yeah, for these flip side souvenir missions, you only really need one Poochie Pop, and then you're like set for life on ammunition and whatnot. Like, there's no need for picking up any more eggs. I don't need to get any of the other Poochie Pops. It's fine. Where could this squid be? What does he look like? You know, it's very squid-like. He certainly looks like a squid. I am kind of rushing through here. But I am, like... I'm, like, continuously looking at the background. I'm barely even looking at Yoshi. Which pains me to say that out loud. Whoa, that was interesting. I hope I haven't missed it. Like, I'm going fast, but I think I'm being observant. Yep, I missed it. Alright, time to retry. Oops. I thought I was being observant, but I think I was just going too fast and not thorough enough. Like, I was keeping my eyes peeled, but I might have just not gone where it is. I don't know. Let's try again. I love how fast Yoshi can just, like, launch those. Oh. Somehow I missed the Poochie Pop. Okay, there he is. Get him! It's not like it's even that bad yet. I haven't done that many souvenir missions and side quests. And I'm already kind of tired of it. I think that for the last, like, hour or half hour of each live stream series, I think that will be sufficient. Lest I get too tired of it. Yet, I will still continue to, do these. Like, it's one of those things where I don't really want to play these, but I want to have this recorded. Oh, there he is. I want to have it recorded. I want to have it on YouTube. I want a record of having done it. Just so that I can say that, well, I did it. And there's proof. But I'm not having that much fun doing this part of the game. Like Cat Icarus said, it's Yoshi's tedious world. A steamboat, please. The flip side of the port. Alright, let's go. Again, I think so much of this would be solved if they just gave me a grocery list for these things and, like, just set me loose. Like, find this, 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 and this in the level. And just, like, have them be, like, the missions. Like, the health and coins and like, that sort of thing. Just have it be like that. And, like, let me do multiple missions in one go. I think that would basically solve essentially my entire problem with this whole mechanic. I don't think I would take much issue with it if that's how this worked. I found it. Admittedly, though, like, I guess it could be easy to be, like, overwhelmed. Like, if you're looking for too many things at once, like, you'll forget to look for stuff. That sort of thing. But I don't know. I feel like that would be the better way to go. Small stripy fish. Like, if they just told me, hey, find 3 crabs, 1 squid, 3 stripy fish. Just find all of those in this level. And then I'd be like, okay, I'll know to look out for that stuff. And if I really wanted to single it down to, or, like, whittle it down to, like, 1 objective per playthrough, like, at least give me that choice. Like, let me make that decision. I think that would fix a lot of my issue with the souvenirs. Oh. Again, like, that's not anything new. I'm not, like, uncovering new territory here. This is all stuff that I have already come to the conclusion of. I don't think that the series is going to do much to change my mind. However, there is one thing that I've constantly been considering. I'm sure Solar Flare would like to hear this, but ever since our podcast together, I have been wondering if I give Yoshi's Crafted World too much credit and had wronged Yoshi's Island DS when I placed Yoshi's Crafted World above it in my top 10 video. I still think that overall I made the right choice, mostly just because, like, I made this point in our quote-unquote debate. I noted that Yoshi's Island DS, between Yoshi's Island DS and Yoshi's Crafted World, Yoshi's Island DS is the only one that I actively wish that I wasn't playing it while I was playing it. And not from a tedium standpoint, just from a frustration standpoint. I'm supposed to find 5 of these things? I haven't even seen 1 yet. Have I just not been looking closely enough? Let me try again. Let me retry. But I repeat myself. Okay. I will find them, and I will collect them. I don't know where you are, but I'll find you, and I'll throw an egg at you. That's how this is gonna go down. You can't avoid it, stripy fishes. I don't know where you are, but I'll find you and throw an egg at you. That's how this is gonna go. I may as well get off this bit. It's worn out its welcome. My goodness, like, what am I missing? Like, am I just blind, or are there just not any stripy fish around here? Oh, remember how earlier I was saying that Yoshi auto-swallows basically every enemy, but there is exception? The Koopa shells are one of those exceptions. I do that every single time. Because Yoshi can't swallow the Koopa shells. I think there's only one game where he can. And it's Super Mario World, and it takes him a while. Maybe he swallows them in, like, the new Super Mario Bros. Games, but I don't remember exactly. That's not a stripy fish. Man, where are these things? How am I, like, missing them? Am I missing them? I'm so confused. This is bringing me uncomfort. This is bringing me discomfort. Would not recommend swallowing shells, says Aurora. Not unless you're Yoshi. Then you can handle it. Probably. Even he seems to struggle with it, though. Seriously, where is this? Where are these fishies? Have I missed any? Are they all just, like, gathered at the latter half of the level? I have not seen any. Like, I've seen a bunch of fish. Lots of fish, you might say. But, I haven't seen any stripy ones. Am I just blind? What is going on here? Are they all in this last section? I have my doubts. I have my suspicions. Orange Yoshi, I'm sorry that you have to be the one to deal with this. This stinkies. Where are they? They're on the flip side. That explains literally everything. Literally everything. Oh my goodness. That's my fault. It's not the game's fault. It's my fault. I wasn't paying attention. But boy, that's frustrating. Jeepers, man. Okay. Let's try this again. I will say, if every live stream is going to end with me, having a general disdain for continuing to play the game, that I'm starting to reconsider my approach. Like, I still want to do some souvenirs on every live stream. Want to is a bit of a misleading term. I think that it's a good idea for me to do souvenirs in every stream. But I'm reconsidering my idea to do it for the last part of the stream, because it makes me feel like the stream is going out with a whimper. So I might do like the souvenirs at the half point of these levels from now on. Or at the half point of these streams. I don't know, I have a lot of thinking to do. What do you guys think? End of the stream or mid-stream? I really am not sure at this point. I feel like mid-stream would probably be a little bit better. Meow, meow. Whoa, I like straight up murdered that Koopa shell. Whoops. By the way, the hitboxes are extremely forgiving in this game. Like, just there, it looked like I should have gotten hit by that guy. But I didn't, like, I just jumped on top of him. Very, very forgiving hitboxes, that. Now, I always miss that Shy Guy. I'm like looking in the backgrounds and stuff for these fishies. There's one more, and there's a decent chunk of the level left, so... Really, there's a lot of places that I could be missing him. Ah! I went to itch my eye, and all of a sudden my life was put in peril. Hello there. I feel like I've missed it. Yeah, I've absolutely missed it somewhere. Let's go back. At least these aren't timed. Is it really faster for me to do that at that point? I mean, it might be a little bit. And it certainly feels a lot more fun. I think I need to start pounding down these pound posts. Just in case the fish is, like, hiding behind them. He wasn't in this case, but it doesn't hurt to check. Indeed. Oh my goodness. Huh. I'm not seeing it. Oh, this is frustrating. I feel like... where am I missing it? It's gotta be somewhere obvious. I mean, if it was obvious, then I probably wouldn't have missed it, right? Never underestimated Jeff's ability to miss things. Okay, I can't go under there. I can go up here, but I don't think there's any fishies up here. Did I maybe miss one in this section? Jeez, I feel like I've gone through the whole level twice at this point. And I'm not seeing it. Is it like right at the beginning? No. Where in the world am I missing this thing? Trying to remind myself of what it looks like because I haven't seen one in so long. I really hope that this is the last souvenir for this set of levels, but I have a feeling it won't be. I want to head out. Thanks for the stream, says Chris. Thank you for tuning in, Chris. Hope you enjoyed yourself. And I hope to see you next time. Have a good week, my friend. I'm really confused about where I'm missing this thing. Like, am I really being that unobservant? Reconnection successful. Okay, can you guys see me? I disconnected for a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, you didn't really miss anything. That was something, says Aurora. Yeah, a little blip in the internet. I'm not really sure what happened there. Yeah, there's nothing over here. No. Might have been like a big blip in the internet. Oh well. It happens. It happens from time to time. Such is the uncertainty of the quality of the internet. At least in my area. I don't know about you guys. Oh, there it is. I see it. I found it. Wow, that was devious. Okay, great. Awesome. Magnifique. Please, no more requests. No more requests, please. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Alright. And with that, I collected all the smiley flowers and Yarctopus docks. Excuse me. Well, that was something. So, where am I here? Actually, I feel like I did pretty good. So, I've got to find the rest of the souvenirs in this area. The souvenirs in that area. And then I'll move on. Well, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to tackle first next time. But, I do feel like we made a pretty decent amount of progress here. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about wrapping it up here. So, that's what we're gonna do. Guys, thank you very much for tuning into this live stream. I am, like I said earlier, I'm definitely rethinking my strategy in terms of when I'm going to do these souvenirs. I feel like doing them right at the end is not the best way to go. I thought it would be. After tonight, I am very much convinced that that's not the best way to go. So, thanks for the stream, Jeff. No problem. Aurora and Blues Cat, thank you very much for sticking around. It's always fun having you guys watch. So, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and you haven't already, feel free to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I go live or post a video. Feel free to join the Discord if that interests you at all. Lots of stuff to do there. Primarily chatting with me. I love chatting with the fans. But also things like live stream notifications, like when I'm going to go live or that sort of thing. I'll let you know as soon as I know. You can recommend games or music for me. You can share pictures of your food or your favorite memes, all kinds of stuff. And the next live stream is going to be probably next Friday, starting around 10 or 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna tackle more Yoshi's Crafted World here. I think we've gotten a pretty good start. Let's keep this momentum going. Hopefully a little bit better on the souvenirs next time. I don't feel like that was the greatest way to end the stream, but I'll figure that out next time. Guys, have a very, very pleasant week. And, yeah. Hope to see you next time. See you guys.